wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look behind, it's moving closer every time. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness, your friend, you get me till at the end.
I'm telling you, bro.
At the end. Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness, your friend, you get me till the end.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro.
What's going on, folks? What's going on? Will Stewart here with another THFC rants. THFC rants. For all the people that are watching, welcome to the drama, to the absolute drama that is Tottenham Hotspur. Looking fresh. Thank you very much. Let's roll through some of the comments we got going on here this afternoon before we get rolling into the details of today's show. which is updated news. It looks like this Fonseca thing is going to happen. A lot of reports out that it's going to be announced on Wednesday. 2-year contract with a possible 3rd-year extension. It's all of the latest news that I've collected over the last, 6-7 hours. Not a lot of sleep going on over here at the THFCRants house based on all of the news that I'm trying to collect. Things that we're trying to build, things that we're trying to do and say. It's a unique one. It is a unique one. It's a unique one for sure. Before we get rolling on into the questions, just want to remember to take the time to thank, let's get that off there. Spartan 7 Gaming, Wayne Bonner, Mama Coates, Celery Agent, AG, Kogamanim, Tony Gonim, and Alex Burleton. These are the patrons. These folks help support the channel monetarily. We got Tony Go in the house. He's saying, Young, what's going on? Not much. What's going on with you, Tony Go? And thank you guys for supporting the channel, putting your money where your mouth is. If you want to be like them, which I know you do, head on over to patreon.com/THFCRants and get yourself a Patreon membership. The Patreon membership is going to be evolving now that the channel is monetized. More special things coming your way. The Patreon section of the channel is going to have now all of the TikTok content with my cousin BJ uploaded to the Patreon section at both the $5 and $10 level. So if you don't have TikTok, but you still want to see those funny shorts, make sure to head over to patreon.com. I'll be uploading all of those videos to the Patreon page moving forward. Also, too, for folks that don't know, if you look in the little bottom right-hand corner of your live chat, you will notice that you now see a $sign. So super chats are available, but do not be worried about the fact that, okay, now we're monetized. The system of the channel, the way that we do these shows is going to change. That is not the case. This show right here is still going to be the chat show where we answer your guys' questions and then we bring in the creators. But as you guys know, if you watch the show regularly, once the creators jump on, it is hard to with all the conversation that's going on, it is hard to read questions. So during the creator section, if you want to make sure that your question is read out, make sure you hit that $sign down there at the bottom, get your super chats in, and the same rules that apply on every other channel will be applied here. All super chats will receive priority in the questions. So even during this Q&A section, if you want to throw in a super chat, as I'm going through the list, your question will be moved to the top. You can jump the line. You can skip the line. We'll still read out as many questions as we can moving forward through this question and answer period. But if you do throw in a super chat, you will get that read out first. So without further ado, let's start answering the questions. Let's get a chat. Let me bring the questions up here on screen. Share those up here real quick. Give me 2 seconds while I get my whims about me. And we'll add those to stream right here. Let's change our fiddly doots. All right. Alrighty then. As the pet detective always says, you know, we can even play the. Alrighty then. Anyway, let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got on here. And comment page. Don't forget that if you want to make sure that I read it out, you either hit the super chat or you add us on the channel. That way your comments and questions will pop up here. Got George. First comment of the day. The media that reported this must be hacking themselves. Rolling on a Wednesday. Not sure, George. I'm not sure, George, on this. That's the report that's out. The official announcement will be made on Wednesday, and that the contract is in front of him. It's on the table. It's ready for him to sign. It's all he got to do is sign the dotted line. Apparently, I like it. Guido Nurse 17 already got the Zorro face mask on. I'm telling you right now. I am telling you, bro.
I'm telling you, bros.
I'm telling you, bro. If this guy gets signed and he's the comedic genius that it seems like he's going to be, BJ is going to have an easy job. And Jimmy Gite says, can't wait for him to come out full Zorro after we beat Burnley. I'm telling you, I can't wait either. I cannot wait either. It's going to be epic. So, British Rao says that Cody's show yesterday morning was absolutely fantastic. I agree. It was. Cody's a good dude, and he's got some good points, and he does research well. And he's in the chat there now. Spursation TV's in the house saying hello, good afternoon and good evening. Would like to thank everyone for your support of this channel. Please smash the like and subscribe if you have not. Thanks. Thank you guys for throwing that in this, especially in the Q&A show. It makes it easy to remind me to do it. I always tend to forget to do that. Tom Tex says, good morning all. Let's see if we can get any questions up in here. Choppa says, guys, let's give him a chance before we say shit. I don't disagree with you. I will give him a chance once he's the manager. Once he's actually been appointed. But until it's official, I don't think that it's wrong for people to give their opinions on the selection itself. Right? I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I do, however, think that it's a good idea to once he's actually been appointed, let him get a good 5-10 games under his belt. And two, I think it really depends on what we're going to see with Petrici. Iggy's going to slaughter me for not being able to pronounce his name correctly. What signings we make this summer and how that affects the overall deal. Because if we make some good signings this summer, it really doesn't matter who the manager is. We could, things could be, a lot better. It's a lot easier to be successful when you have a thing. As far as the news is popping out, I've got a bunch of notifications here now. Trying to see what the new news popping up is. It looks like a lot of the folks are just commenting about the stream here and do that now. But I don't know if anybody's got a chance to see the Alistair Gold article where he goes over a bunch of quotes from people talking about about how or what Potterici has done, but this looks like it's happening, folks. This looks like it's happening. Cody's in the house. Cody says, smash the like as soon as you get in here, everyone. You should do that. Make sure you do smash that like. Also, if you're new to the channel, throw a subscribe up on there for us as well. We would really appreciate that. And Wayne Bonner has broken the deal here. Wayne, if you want to throw a comment in there, you're allowed to do that. But Wayne Bonner gets to be the very first person to throw a super chat on the channel. I think Matty Hayes said that he wanted to do that, Wayne. But I don't know if Matt's here right now watching the show. But Wayne, if you have a comment or a question, throw it up there and we'll read it out. Photo was fresh. Chitter chatter. Marcelo's in the house. Even man, hello, Will. Will you be watching the games under this manager? Well, is a question that popped up. Yeah. Simply because I don't know a whole lot about the manager, so I can't be totally upset about it when I don't know a lot about him, right? It's hard for me to be judgmental or negative when I don't know anything. I'm not a kind of person who is negative simply for the fact of being negative. I'm negative when you should be negative, and I'm positive when we should be positive. My example says he's losing the will to live. Don't feel like that, Mike. You should never feel like that. And Bob, with the second super chat ever on the channel, he says, "Proud of you, Ginger Nuts." Well, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Salt and Pepper Nuts. I'm proud of you too, and thank you for the five pounds there, Bobby. It's greatly appreciated. You're the man, and you know that's coming right back to you anyway. So, trying to go back and find my spot now. Bob Spur TV has another comment up here. He says, "I'm getting pissed off with people who are pissed off with people who are pissed off with Fonseca's appointment. I'll try and get on later." Yeah, we're going to be opening up the Creators Corner part of the show between 2 or 7 and 7:30. 2:30 Eastern, 7:30 GMT. Let people to get a chance to finish their dinners before they hop on here. I think that was the one problem that I had last week is I started a little bit too late. Or I threw the link out there a little bit too early, I guess you could say. Will, are you going to get your Zorro outfit as well? That I've already thought about it. I've already been looking on Amazon for a Zorro costume. That's definitely going to be something that we do. So we got Mari from the football show Spurs edition. That football show Spurs edition with the $5 super chat. It was reported that Fonseca will work with what we have. This says Levy 100%. Love the show. Would love to join from Tavistock headquarters, Orlando. So you work for Tavistock Group. Interesting. And you'd love to join the show. Unfortunately, unless you're a Patreon member, if you're not a creator, I can't let you on the show because there's actually people who pay for the privilege of being able to join the show during the Creators Corner segment. I would do that like 100%, but I have to respect the people that have been supporting the channel for as long as they have. But our rant shows on Saturday nights are open to anyone to jump on. They're open for everyone. So anyone who's anyone and everyone can jump on that show and have their say. But yeah, I'd love to bring everyone on all the time, but people are paying for privileges. Speaking of which, thank you for your $5 super chat, and I do not disagree with you. That's one thing that I am worried about is what we're going to do with what we have currently. Are we going to what players are we going to bring in? Are we going to work with what we have, which is not good? Or are we going to actually do something worthwhile? You know what I mean? Are we going to sign new players, or are we just going to deal with what we have? Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. No, Alama says we sacked Mourinho for Fonseca. Let that sink in. No, it's definitely sunken in. And the fact that they sacked Fonseca to get Mourinho, it's irony, dude. Like, can the reality TV show that is Tottenham Hotspur get any worse or get any better? Like I said, multiple sources are reporting that this is happening, that the contract is in front of him, right? And it's, you guys know me, I'm not one to follow one specific source. Multiple sources are reporting right now, currently, that there is a 2-year contract with a optional third-year extension sitting on the table, and that if they sign that deal, they will be announcing Fonseca as the new manager on Wednesday, right? On Wednesday. And I think Fonseca this is the thing. We're going down. And you'll be able to see that, all that stuff. But Tottenham Texan has a question here. It says, thoughts on Juve guy on Tottenham TV this morning saying Fonseca is a good appointment and underrated. Well, I mean, there are people that are saying that. There's a lot of people that have a lot of trust and faith in Patrici, and Patrici has. They say that he kind of found Conte before Conte was Conte, and so if Patrici is going in for Fonseca, there must be a reason why, and that we should give him a shot. We should give him a chance. If it was any other club other than Tottenham Hotspur, and it wasn't like this is like we don't have a choice, right? There's nobody else available, right? Like if everybody in the world was available and Patrici was selecting Fonseca because he was a good new prospect that was underrated, I would agree with this sentiment 100%. But the fact that we've been linked with everyone and the kitchen sink, and now all of a sudden, Patrici's or Fonseca is a good choice. I'm skeptical. I'm a little bit of a skeptical person. What can I say? Cynical, maybe, if you'd rather. If Kane is solved, this fella is on hiding to nothing. That will make it much harder to establish a functioning team. If Kane is solved, is that sold? Pillage 58, man. The first half of your sentence is confusing me, so you'll need to clarify that. That in need a soundboard thing if David Harris saying get your super chats in. That's not a bad idea, Karen. Look at you with the thing. I'd have to get David's permission first. I'd have to give David's permissions first. Stuart says, yo, I'm not happy, but sometimes the manager just fits at a certain club. And if Paratici is the one that rates him, I guess we should give him a chance. His Roma record is very poor, though. Yeah, but Roma doesn't have a good team either. That's the problem. We got Big Carrie in here throwing in a super chat. $5 super chat from Kieran McDonald, who is a regular on our Saturday night rant shows. Fonseca wasn't sacked, just not offered extension after getting a crap Roma side to the Europa League semis. New owners of Roma wanted Mourinho. That's an interesting shout. Interesting. Maybe I got wrong that he was sacked. They just didn't offer us an extension. Yeah, to be honest with you, Roma had a season a lot that kind of shadowed and represented a lot like ours. To be honest with you, right? I mean, they top half of the table for the first half of the year. I mean, they were like second or third place, above Juventus all the way up till January. And the wheels just fell off the bus. And then they're ended up now they're in the Conference League. So wouldn't it be funny when you see Fonseca in a Zorro hat going against Jose Mourinho in the Europa Conference League? I'm not going to miss that simply for the comedic value. We got another $5 super chat in here from Mari from the football show Spurs edition. It says, I have friends that do work for Tavistock Lake Nona. To clarify, it's sad that same ambition is not put into the club. I will join Saturday night. Thanks. Yeah, again, ma'am, you're welcome. And we hope that you do. We want everyone to join on Saturday nights. We want that show to be full to capacity. Everybody can come on and have their say. No membership needed. No Patreonship needed. None of that stuff. It's open for the world. And like I've said, if you guys really want that show, if you want to see that show happen more than once or twice a week, let us know. Come on the show, hit that like button. If it's not at a time that you'd like, if there's a different time that you would like to come on, if we need to do a rant show, like on a Saturday morning as well or something like that. You know what I mean? To let people from the other side of the pond jump on. Let us know what you guys want to do. If there's a demand for it, I will do it. I'm crazy like that. Got Connection Spurs here with a £5 super chat. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it. He says, my Portuguese friends say that Fonseca is a decent manager. Not Conte, obviously, but I think he will be a few seasons, and we will be sixth place. Sixth place isn't something that I'm looking forward to. A decent manager then get a sixth place. That's not filling me with confidence, though, mate. It's really not. Really not. We got Sonia Sombers here in the house. Tottenham. Yes. Pilsen 58 said, sorry, Will, I meant sold. Already have done. Okay. His team conceded quite a few goals as well as score a few, so probably entertaining. Look, I'm all for football being entertaining. I'm all for being football entertaining. Like, take the U.S. men's national team, putting one to Mexico. The football on both sides, honestly, was pretty poor. But the game was very entertaining. It was just full of so much drama. Sure, if every game was like that, that would be great. Right? That would be great. But if the scoreline had been flopped and we lost 3-2 to Mexico in that match, as a supporter of the U.S. men's national team, would I rather have watched that match and lost 3-2? Or would I rather won that match 1-0 and had a I would have rather lost. I would have won. I would have rather won 1-0 and had it been a dull game and bring home a trophy than lose 3-2 in an exciting game. I'm sorry. That's just the way I am. I like to win. I prefer to win. Stuff like that. The Roma team is hot garbage, and they had a lot of injuries without squad depth. Dude, our team is hot garbage, and we had a lot of injuries as well. So with a team of hot garbage and a lot of injuries, if this is what's going to happen, well, I mean, what manager can do that when your team's, you know? But if you have an extension clause in your contract and it's not put in, isn't that kind of getting sacked? I know it's technically not getting sacked, but it's like getting sacked. If you already have the job and you're not offered a new contract, it's kind of like saying, "Hey, we don't want you anymore," which is what getting sacked is. So it's similar. Similar. But you're right. Well, I would hope. I would hope. But from what I heard, he and the sporting director and owners had a falling out. They had a falling out. They didn't get along. A lot of stuff. We've got Pilch 58 here. He says an experimental Spurs team without Kane and with a lot of imports could get overrun by the best teams and bullied by the bottom half. Alarming. I know, and I'm telling you, and that's even more so in the Premier League than it is in Serie A, right? I think everyone would agree that the bottom half of the table in the Premier League is higher quality than the bottom half of the table in Serie A. That's my opinion. But I think it's a fairly confident opinion, a fairly rational opinion. I think it's based in statistical prowess. Sorry, Kane had commented and it caught my attention. Player Kirian says, player for player, we are miles better than Roma. The only exception is the center backs. I don't know if I agree with that statement. Obviously, Kane's son, right? Roma doesn't have any players like Kane's son. Not many teams in anywhere in the world do. But the rest of the squad, Roma last season actually had a fairly good midfield, which we don't. We don't. So just saying. The point is, whatever you want to call it, he didn't leave because of results. Okay. I'm not right. Like Cody's saying here, the takeover Rome was completed in the summer of 2020. So not fair to say that Fonseca being non-renewed is truly reflective as he was hired by the previous owner. Yeah. It's true. But the point I was making is that he had a job and the people said you didn't do a good enough job for us to want you to stay. So while he isn't sacked because it was at the end of his contract, they're still saying we want someone better than you. And then they go out and get the manager that we have. That's all I'm saying. And that's the fact of the matter. He had a contract. They didn't ask him to extend it. Whether he wanted to leave or not is irrelevant. His current employer offered to not give him a new contract. Right? I'm sure Danny Rose wants, or maybe Danny Rose doesn't want to leave for Tottenham. But Tottenham said, you have a contract. It's over. We're not giving you a new one. Bye-bye. Right? The reason why we didn't extend Danny Rose's contract is because of his performance, in our opinion. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Cody says he looks at it like this. He was hired by one owner. The new owners came in and were hot for Jose. Again, that very well could be true. But what I'm saying is they thought that Jose Mourinho at Tottenham Hotspur was a better option for their team to be successful than the current manager that they had employed. That's all I'm saying. That's the fact of the matter. We can try to add things on top of it to try to make it look prettier than it is. But the black and white simple explanation is that he had a contract. They could have extended it, and they didn't. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Right? I don't like to make assumptions on people's stuff. I don't like to add things to I just like to report what happened. Are the new owners experienced directors of football like Fabio? I don't know. I don't know them. But let me ask you, Keith, do you have any evidence at all? Is there any evidence at all that the reason why Fabio is selecting Paulo Fonseca is because he's the best candidate for the job, or because he's the best of the available candidates for the job? Right? Because I think is what Potter's going into Everton. Right? Other people, all of our choices, most of the people that were linked to us at one point in time are gone. So 130 watching. Let's get to 100 likes. There's actually 145 watching now. Also, too, if you are watching, this is your first time watching the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. But folks, I'm telling you, man. He said, yes, if you want the best attacking mind in the game, statistically, it's him. I back the stats. I'd have to see those stats. Because Atalanta had a far more attacking season and period of success than Roma did. So why is Gasparini? How is Gasparini less attacking than Fonseca? I watched a lot of football content, a lot of punditry. And I haven't heard anybody talking about Fonseca. Right? If I had to research him, being at Roma, which is not a small club, right? You're talking about a club that before he came into was in Champions League semifinals. And Bill, what's your deal, bud? Who you talking to? Aaron Barnes says Fonseca is a poor man's Pep Guardiola. I don't know if that's the case, Aaron, because Phil above you said that he's an attacking manager, yet he also conceded 150 goals in 2 seasons. But what's funny is I have actually watched a lot of tactical representations of Fonseca, and people say that he comes from the Jose Mourinho school, right? Or would you would rather say the person that Jose Mourinho learned from school? It's kind of like a Bielsa thing, right? Being Portuguese himself, that he plays in the same style as Jose did when he first did it. I don't think he's anti-Jose. I don't think that he's anti-Jose. I don't think that he's anti-Jose. I think people are going to be surprised. He plays possession-based, out of the back, 3-4-3, 4-2-3-1 football, very much like Jose Mourinho does. People say Jose Mourinho is a defensive manager. I don't see that. I don't see him. He's not a Sean Dyche. Fonseca despises low blocks. I'm not sure about that because there are very many videos where you can actually go out and find older videos, a year old, 2 years old, where they're talking about how Fonseca's low blocks were effective here, there, and here based on the squad that he's playing for. I don't think that's true, Cody. I don't. I've watched YouTube videos over the last 8 hours that have said that especially when he was at Dunsk. Now, granted, it might be team to team. It may not be something he did at Roma. But any managers who they say, in fact, the Tifo video when they were explaining his tactics at Roma said that he'll set up in a low block and play long balls over the top when he's playing against better competition. He's not like a Bielsa or a Leeds type where he's going out and high pressing even against better opposition. He sits back, plays the ball up over the top. You know what I mean? That's not true. It's not true. I've watched videos where they said that's not true. Against better competition, he sat back and played long balls out of the top. He prefers to play out of the back with short passes, right? Where you have a deep lying playmaker, which we don't have currently, by the way. Right? I love Højbjerg to death. Højbjerg is not a creative midfielder. And but hey, he sits back and plays balls over the top. Share the videos with me, Keith, on Twitter. I know we follow each other on Twitter. Share me the videos because I'm telling you what the two Tifo videos that have said, both one from him at Roma and one from him at Dunsk. And also older videos of him and saying on Portuguese tactics and the style of football. I'm telling you what he prefers to do. Jose Mourinho doesn't prefer to play in a low block. I'm sorry. He doesn't. That is false. That is a false view of Jose Mourinho's style. He'll play in a low block if he has to. But he does not prefer a low block. Right? Fonseca does not prefer a low block, but he plays one when he has to. There are some managers that refuse to play low blocks ever. Bielsa. Right? Leeds don't play low block ever. They don't. They just don't. I'm going to throw this link out there for the creator. So if you're a creator watching and you want to jump on the show with me, and actually, please do jump on the show with me because I want to hear what a lot of people have to say on this topic. I know that it's coming out here. So now, guys, if you do want to, if you do want to get your comments read out now, make sure that you throw in a super chat. If not, sit back and enjoy the show. For the creators, I have thrown that in the WhatsApp group that I made this morning, and I'm also going to throw it into the Spurs family group on Twitter. So if you can jump on, please do so. And Cody, if you're available to jump on, you want to jump in and have a little debate. What is up with my Twitter? Paul. Anyway. Cody Mack's there. Mr. Mack.
What's going on?
Not much. If everybody else, those links are in there now. Sorry for the little bit of dead space in there, but I was having issues with my computer for a second. And I don't like that when it happens. And I had somebody come to the door, so I had to tell my kid to get rid of him.
So how do you feel?
I'm neither positive nor negative. I'm not someone who's going to jump in here and say that somebody who has shown no evidence of being an exceptional manager is going to be an exceptional manager. Right. I think that's unfair. So I am on the let's wait and see. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, it really is all that we can do at this point. I think, like, for me personally, if the rumor that Fonseca has been brought in here to work with the squad as it is currently constructed is true, I'm gonna be pretty upset. I'm really hoping that if the timeline of events is as it's been reported, and it's Paratici, which I think that's how we're supposed to be saying that after I did an hour-long stream of saying his name wrong. Paratici. If he's the one who pulled the trigger on Fonseca, a matter of days after he's been brought in. Yeah, I mean, it's underwhelming, but I think anybody that wasn't named Pochettino or Conte was going to come across as being pretty underwhelming. Like maybe Ten Hag would have been almost on that level, but pretty much every other manager that we had been linked to would have been a disappointment, considering that we were linked with some of the better managers in world football. So we'll see if Paratici is a man who is going to work quickly and work boldly, and we get some players moved out and we get some fresh blood brought in. I'll start to at least look forward to the season. It's tough to react to Tottenham right now in anything other than like a really negative light. And I desperately would like to have something positive to think and talk about my football club, but the reality is, like, I don't know. I just don't trust our board. I don't trust our ownership. I think that the footballing aspect of the umbrella under which they operate is secondary. We're primarily a property development company and a property acquisition company, and Yeah, I mean, I took the liberty of going through because like all of the Tottenham financial reports are posted on the Tottenham Hotspur website. Anyone can access them and go through them. And
Sounds like a fun thing to do.
Well, it's like 48 pages, and I didn't go through all of it, but some of the stuff that's in there is quite interesting. You know, like only 13.2% of revenues that come into Tottenham Hotspur come from match day and merchandise. So like more direct fan investment, you know. And it says right in the document that the mandate for ENIC is to become less reliant on football revenues. So whether that, you can look at that two ways. That means that the company is trying to diversify the revenue streams, you know, broaden their portfolio so that they have access to more cash that they can then, who knows what they do with it, whether it goes back into the footballing side or if it goes into their pockets or if it goes into further property development, who knows. Or you could just say that the less that they have to rely on the money that comes directly from supporters, the less they need to really care about what the supporters think, and the less power the supporters will have. So, you know, I know this isn't supposed to be like an ENIC stream, but that's just the headspace that we're all kind of living in right now. It's just hard to be impressed by the hiring of Paulo Fonseca. And
But how can you be impressed? This is what I'm saying. This is the thing that frustrates me sometimes with football fans, especially from this team example. Do you watch Football Terrace at all? So the Football Terrace did a stream kind of in the middle of the night. I guess it would have been for the folks over in the UK this morning. And there were fans calling and they were like, you know, because he's a point in time, we got to support him. You know, he could be the best manager ever. There's no evidence of that. There is none. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada.
But there was no evidence for Pochettino either.
That is true. Pochettino took that and made it happen. So I'm saying that's why we have to wait and see. Nobody said when Pochettino was first appointed to Spurs that he was going to be a great manager, that he was some kind of Superman thing.
Yeah.
It
But
was
saying
that with Pochettino,
saying that a manager could do that and saying that a manager will do that are two different things. You know, like I said, I'm not impressed with the appointment. And yeah, I mean, if you take out his winning percentage is pretty pedestrian, and if you take out the 3 years at Shakhtar, it's even less impressive. Yeah. So I don't know.
And Shakhtar is not Shakhtar always is successful in their league.
Yeah, he did do some things that they hadn't done in quite a while, though, in terms of like winning the double. I know it's not an upper echelon league. I mean, some people will talk about the French and the Spanish and the Italian and German leagues as being farmers leagues. I don't buy into that. I think that gets overblown. I don't think the Premier League is head and shoulders above every other league in the world just because it's more properly marketed. I think the styles of play differ, but the Ukrainian league, we can't really take that seriously. So, yeah, it does leave a lot of question marks. It does leave a lot of question marks. Do you think that Fonseca was actually Paratici's first choice? Like how quickly this went down, you know, like, or is this a sign that Paratici's decision making is going to be hamstrung by Daniel Levy, just like it has been for every predecessor that has come before him?
Paratici, man, I think it was left with the options because Paratici has been like the job was his for over a week now. And other options that were on the list had gone here, gone there, and gone here, gone there, gone other places. I think this is one that was A1 close to him, right? He saw Fonseca being in Syria regularly or had to evaluate him. Yeah. And it was something that he just had to pull in. But before we do that, though, we gotta bring some people in from Bob Spur in the house.
Yes, yes.
What's going on, Mr. Bob?
Finish work.
Is it Mr. Bob or Mr. Spur?
Mr. Singh to you. Thank you.
Mr. Singh.
Are you
That's not
supposed
in
to?
your
Are you
channel
supposed
title.
to be? Are you supposed to be mixing booze with your heart medication, Bob Spur?
Nope.
If your physician sees this, you're gonna be in big trouble.
Nope. I am enjoying my painkillers, and I'm grinding them down.
Oh, there's
with,
Spurs.
with beer.
We're gonna
That's
clip
Spurs
that.
for you.
There's Spurs in a nutshell, right
that
there.
is
Pills
Spurs.
and bottles.
That's it. That's it. I got a whole bag of them where they came from, mate. So
Can you
I
mail?
want to make it clear
some?
we do not endorse drinking alcohol with
no,
painkillers.
I'm not endorsing them, but if it helps.
And we've been demonetized.
No, all jokes aside, please do not do that unless you're a Spurs supporter.
Okay, I'm dying to hear what Bobby has to say about everything.
Well, I said to you, Will, in the super chat, I'm a bit pissed off about the whole fan base being pissed off about the fact that people are pissed off with the appointment. Now, I said the first thing I said yesterday, and the first thing I said on my stream this morning is I'll back him. Of course, I want him to be the best Tottenham Hotspur manager ever. I want him to go down in history, win doubles after doubles after doubles. But I can't hide the feeling that I'm fucking. Oh, can I swear? Well,
Yeah.
50. Yeah. That I'm fucking pissed off about it. That's me. You know, going from Conte. First of all, pulling at the heartstrings with Poch, which quite evidently was a load of crap. He was never going to come. Then going for someone, a born winner, who made us look at the whole situation differently. Maybe Poch wasn't the right decision. It was Conte. The confidence level of what this man can come and do rose. If he was appointed, it would have been a direction of change within the board, because there's no way Conte, that's quite evident with the stuff he's coming out with, there was no way he was going to bow to the board, and he was quite clearly an ambitious man. He is an ambitious manager who wants to win trophies. So for me, that would have been a whole different mindset and a shift of direction from the board. And my confidence level went through the roof. Season ticket renewals, stream after stream, we all fell for it. We all fell for it, doing stream after stream, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, bigging up Conte. What can he do? What can he do? Blah, blah, blah. There's no way Conte's coming in if he's not being backed. And then bring in Zorro in. I'll back him. Of course I will. But I'm fucking livid. I absolutely hate the appointment. Nothing against the man. I hate the appointment. It doesn't mean I'm not backing him. It doesn't mean that, I want the worst for Spurs. It doesn't mean my passion for Spurs and my support for Spurs is any less than any other person who's trying to not sit on the fence, but trying to say, no, let's just see how it goes. I know that. We've got to see. We've got no other option but to see how it goes. But shoot me down with a feather. And I've never heard that term before, and I never hear it again. But I am not going to hide the fact that I'm fucking livid and pissed off with Zorro coming in to manage my football club, my football team, after being treated like a mug by promising Conte. Not promising Conte, but making it look like Conte was going to come in. So, no, I'm livid with it. I'm absolutely livid with it. But at the same time, I'm going to back him. But there's no reason why I should, suppress those feelings about me being livid and pissed off and call it how it is. Like you said, Will, first thing you said, I'm going to wait to see. I'm not going to get excited about a manager who's not proved himself. Who's to know, mate? Pochettino really hadn't proved himself apart from Southampton before he came to us. And look at him. He might be the next Poch. But I'm going for the now. I'm going for the now and what we've been through for the last 50-odd days. And I think it's complete bullshit. And I think he's treated us like a mug and the C word. I'm not happy about it. And I will say that. But it doesn't mean that I support or whatever. I understand there's a lot of negativity around. But hey, that's what it deserves.
I don't
load
think
of shitty negativity.
I don't think being honest is being negative, right?
Mm.
I just don't want to I don't want to put the cart before the horse. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to praise somebody who hasn't shown anything in any of the major 5 leagues that he deserves to be praised that way. That's what I'm saying. He's very good. He very well may be very good. And it may have been 100% the players' faults at Roma.
Yeah.
But Roma had a better midfield than we did this season.
Absolutely. A better defense. A better wing backs. And there were ex-midfielders.
So
I agree, Will.
Roma with Kane and Son definitely ends up in the Champions League this season.
It could be anything, mate. It could be coming from the conference. I'd still back him. And I still hope he becomes the best Tottenham manager ever. I'm talking about the now. I'm talking about what we've been through, the journey we've been through for the last 2 weeks, never mind 50-odd days.
Yeah.
He's been treated like a twat, and then this comes in, and I'm pissed off with it. And I'm allowed to say that.
The thing is, you remember when Jose first got sacked?
Yeah.
We were told at that time that the manager search was on, that there was going to be a matter of 7 to 10 days before we appointed someone. And then it was, we're going to get it done by the end of the season. And then it was going to be, we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. It just kept kicking. And then like literally how many different managers were we linked with over the course of the 51 days? It was almost as many managers as there were days during the search. And the fact that all of these little nuggets, like you could see in that video with Ali Gold, he's been played like a fool this whole time. Whoever his contact is on the inside at Tottenham Hotspur, whoever has been feeding him all of this information. And yeah, I totally agree, Bob. You know, I tweeted about it. It's like before season ticket deadline, right?
Yeah.
Conte, Poch, right? Flick, Nagelsmann, Ten Hag, Gasperini, all these managers. And then as soon as season ticket deadline passed, we're going to operate in total secret. Nobody's going to hear anything about the manager until the day that we're going to hire him. They said that, right? Now that also coincides with the arrival of Paratici. So maybe he's the one who put the kibosh on the media. But it doesn't. It stinks. It stinks of Enoch smokescreen and tactics. And man, it is definitely. It's definitely disappointing.
And
what disappoints me the most is this: Ten Hag is available. All they did is that they extended a clause. They added an extra year to the clause. It's not like he was given a new contract. They did that. Like they triggered the clause just like everyone else does in order so that they can get a payout. If we had some form of ambition, we would have paid a little bit of money and gone out and gotten Ten Hag. I don't think there's anybody who's sitting in the chat right now who, if they would have said, if this news would have come out about Ten Hag, would have been like, damn it, that's been pissed off, right? Would I have been like, do I think that Ten Hag is the be all end all? No, but I would at least had a little bit of hope that, hey.
Will, if we had ambition, mate, we would have got Conte in when he was there in the office with his pen ready to sign the fucking contract. We would have given him the extra 3 million and the extra 3 people they wanted to bring in. If we had ambition, I've constantly asked, you guys know, I've constantly asked, if I don't get any ambition, if I don't get any direction, if I don't get any planning from the board, it's Mason in for me. Because at this time moment, there's no identity, there's no planning, there's no Tottenham Hotspur. Why
are people out there expecting me to be excited or happy about us being very seriously linked with a manager that I had to Google in order to find out anything about?
We have an identity now. We have an identity now. We have, a clear vision of ambition and a clear plan, and that's to bring in cheap and buy cheap and finish and expect mediocrity and be the next year. That for me, but by not getting Conte in, was a bigger statement of ambition and direction from the board than actually what it would have been if they brought him in. Because if they brought him in, there still would have been a case, or they're under Levy. I'm not sure about that. But the fact they fobbed him off and treated us like mugs and not give a shit about anybody else but their pockets, to me, said everything about their ambition, about the way they're going. They want us to go. That proved everything to me. So I've got my answer now, and we're I still hope he becomes the best manager ever. But my
I do
confidence
too.
levels are nowhere near what they were with Conte.
He's got to prove it. Before we do that, let's bring in some more guests.
Guys, how are we?
Yes.
Good. You kids in the house. Your kid is in the house.
I'm going to have to watch my language now.
Yeah, we replaced
Kids in the
Jose
house, kids in the
Mourinho
house.
with the man that replaced Jose Mourinho. That got replaced by Jose Mourinho. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, one thing I will say.
Can we swap Harry Winks for some of the other players in there in Roma's midfield? I mean, if we're going to swap managers, we might as well just send all of the people that hated Jose Mourinho over to Roma.
I'd swap Winks with Yidkid, mate, the way it's going at the moment. So
I definitely.
I don't think your mum and dad like that.
I definitely understand the angle that Bob you're coming from in terms of like, I fell for it too, man.
Yeah, I know.
I
buddy.
thought, okay, if Conte comes, then we mean business, because we knew that Conte would not come unless he had backing, unless he had control, unless he got what he wanted, because that's just the type of manager that Conte is. That's the type of demands that he would have coming into the club. So when we were getting linked so strongly with Conte, like Ali Gold literally said that barring disaster, Antonio Conte will be the next manager of Tottenham Hotspur. The fact that we didn't end up with him, I don't know. It's so hard, because if we had got Conte in and then treated him the way that we treated Jose, we would have been back to square one in less than a year, you know?
Can we talk about something else for a second too? And this is something that's just really bugging me. And I'm sorry to interrupt, Cody, but this is really bothering me. Looking at the chat and going and covering that while people are talking. What is it about our club that we cannot even? He's not even signed yet. That's true. It hasn't even been confirmed yet. That's true. But it looks like it's going to. All the signs are pointing that this is going to happen, right? We know the length of the contract. We know the date that it's supposed to happen. If it's going to happen, Wednesday of next week. What is it about our club that if a manager is even linked to us, all of a sudden there is a hedge of protection built around them by fan base that if you criticize them, you're not a Spurs, you're a plastic fan, you're not a real fan. What is that? When Graham Potter, if you say anything bad about Graham Potter, you're not a Spurs supporter. Now, if you say anything bad about Fonseca, you're not a Spurs supporter. If you say anything about Scott Parker, you're not a Spurs supporter. They're not even our manager yet. And if you say anything about him, we're not a Spurs supporter. What is up with that? That is the thing that drives me absolutely mad and blows my mind. I don't get it. I do not get it at all. What is this thing about all of a sudden, if somebody is even linked with Tottenham Hotspur, it's like now we have to roll out the hedge of protection around them. And if anyone who says anything about them is a nutter.
It's the way you put it across, though, Will. I mean, to me, my biggest frustration is against Levy and the way he's treated us.
Even with Levy, there's a hedge of protection around him too.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different fucking conversation that I will never understand. The guy was going to destroy our club. How there can be any form of protection around him, I will not understand. But I appreciate everybody else's opinion. But still, 3 weeks and counting, I called someone on to come on any stream within the YouTube Spurs family. Not just mine. It was my stream when I said, but you guys come on. And that's had 2.6 thousand likes, views, by the way. So people have watched it. And I called anyone who's not Enoch out to come on and give us an opinion. Give us a. To be fair, Stuart kind of did say his bit, and I understood. But again, he is Enoch out. But no one's done it. No one's done it.
But, and God bless Stuart. And Stuart, I did put the link in the family chat. So if you'd like to come on this show and talk about Fonseca, you're welcome to join. But he's kind of been that way with Fonseca as well. It's like anytime that there's somebody linked to us, there's just this desire for people to jump out there and be excited and overly positive, give more positivity than's due, simply for the fact that they're linked with Tottenham Hotspur. And I don't understand that. I just don't. Cody's not that way. Cody's just trying to put a positive spin on a crap situation is the way I take it. Cody. Correct me if I'm wrong, Cody, if that's not what you're doing.
No, for sure. Like I've said, I'm underwhelmed by the appointment for sure. It's not what I wanted.
There are people that are trying to roll out every excuse possible to make this the best possible signing that we could have had all summer.
And well,
Okay, not.
I think that there's probably people out there who are just looking at the general reaction and thinking that the last thing we need right now is for this guy to be finished at Spurs before he even sets foot on the property. You know what I mean? Like,
But that's what I disagree with. If there are people out there who say Fonseca's shit, he does not be the. I hope he comes in and I hope he loses, and we're going to be changing managers. Believe it or not, I disagree with that.
oh,
Because
Bob,
regardless
seriously.
who it is, I want someone to come in and be successful. I want him to come in and win the first 15 games in a row and put him down in Spurs. That's what I want.
Bob, go
But I
on
am
Twitter.
fucking disappointed. Yeah.
You go on Twitter and you type in Fonseca in the search bar, and you know what shows up? Hashtag Fonseca out.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
I
something
think
that I won't agree.
I think
I'll be a
what-
hypocrite if I said I agree with that.
in response to what Will's talking about, I think it's just the natural spectrum of fans. There's always going to be, when you have someone on one side who is saying that hashtag Fonseca out, and you have someone on the other far side that's saying like this guy is going to be the best manager ever, and then there's all sorts of stuff in between as well. You know,
Well,
it's
I've already trademarked WT Fonseca, so that's my hashtag. If you ever
What
see
the
hashtag
Fonseca? That's good, that is. Oh, man.
what the Fonseca,
What the Fonseca? That's good, man.
Are we going to be dressing up in Zorro costumes for post-match fan shows next year?
Yep.
I'll
100%.
try to get everything ready today. But
At least the
it's
mask.
too short time.
at least the mask and the hat. I don't know about the whole. I mean, the dude came out full. Was it Halloween or something?
No, he lost a bet. He lost a bet with the players. I think it's probably because he looks like Antonio Banderas. You know.
Anyway, guys, we're just past the 1 hour mark on this show. It usually goes for a couple hours. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe to the channel if you are new.
214 people watching.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
221.
Kid, did you have to Google Fonseca as well, mate, or did you know a bit about him?
I had no idea who he was. I had to look him up as well. But you know, the first thing that came to my mind, do you know what Fonseca is in Spanish? Dry ass.
No. Dry what?
Dry ass. I have a Hispanic family, so I speak the language. And when I heard his name, I started laughing. Obviously,
Why
I
would
looked it
anyone-
up. I looked it up on the Wikipedia page, and it says that he's a Tottenham Hotspur manager, which, if he doesn't pull through, it just shows the board and Daniel Levy how he can't put the pen to the paper.
A lot of
But-
people think Wikipedia is very reliable. It's really not. It's written by people, and so unless it's editable by anyone.
Oh man, when I came on yesterday, when the news broke, somebody had already gone into Fonseca's Wikipedia and changed his description to say that he was the Tottenham Hotspur manager. So yeah, grain of salt.
To be fair, Bob Spur in India means big cock. So yes, it's all understandable.
Yes, well, what an unfortunate misnomer for you, Bob.
Sorry, kid.
It's fine.
You know what? I just want to see what happens in the transfer window, because if the heads start to roll on this squad like we've all been calling for, the likes we all know who they are, right? Dyer, Winks, Sissoko, Aurier, maybe Dele, maybe Sanchez, all the deadwood that Davies, all the players that we've identified as being problematic for the progress of this football club. If some of those players start to move on and they start to replace them with upgrades, at least that will be something, you know. It's so, like, I know that we were so close to thinking that we had Conte, but could you really picture it happening where he comes in here and we drop 200 mil and we flip the whole squad and in one transfer window?
Yes, that's my dream every night when I fall asleep.
Well,
That's
can
when I
you
get down
picture
on my
it?
bed and put my hands and knees and I pray to God above that happens every day.
Of course, but that doesn't mean that it was a realistic thing. If it was literally something,
Neither
in your
is
dreams.
that Fonseca is going to come in here and get us back into the Champions League and going to be the next Conte.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
They're equally delusional.
Big up Ben Holt for saying that. You know, Fonseca will be good for us, but I'll be a hypocrite if I said I believe that, but I don't believe with Fonseca's going to be, and I disagree with the people who are saying Fonseca's going to be shit. Just like I think it's a bit out of order. People saying Fonseca's going to be the shit. He's going to be the worst manager we've ever had. He's going to get us relegated. I can't agree with you, Ben, to say that Fonseca will be good for us because we don't know. We just don't know.
We don't
know
exactly.
what it's going to be
That's
like.
where I'm at.
So
let
me ask.
But all I'm talking about is put aside who he is. Anyone, I think you said Will and Cody, anyone who came in after Conte and Poch was going to be a disappointment. So yeah, and that's all I'm doing. I'm expressing my thorough disappointment of the appointment. I'm just probably saying it a bit louder than other people. It does not mean that I think he's going to be shit, and I don't want him to be shit. I want him to be the best. But I'm pissed off with the whole situation.
Let me ask you guys this, and I want to know what the people in the comments section think about this. What do you think this means for Harry Kane this summer? Right? Do you think it means he's gone, or do you think that he's going to be held here against his desire to leave, or do you think that this will convince him to stay? What do you think, Bob?
I hope we don't force him to stay because he deserves more than that. But all the cards are in our hand. You know, if we don't want him to go, we can keep him, and that's about that's the whole point. If he begs Levy to go, and he said, "Look, I've got and Man City coming with an offer," and Levy still doesn't want to let him go, then it doesn't have to let him go. But then, does Levy turn down 150 million for the sake of the progress of the club?
No, look,
mate.
My whole thing with Kane is not going to be excited about this.
No.
He's probably had to Google him too. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that really bothers me is that Conte, possibly even Ten Hag, have a reputation that Kane may, if Daniel Levy would force him to stay around another year, that he might be willing to try and play through them. But he's not here.
The other thing is with Conte, what we're so excited about is because it was a big plus for the striker position. Either it would motivate Kane to stay, or if he would leave, we had Lukaku as a replacement. Nobody that this man, Fonseca, has managed. There's no big name strikers that he's managed that, let's say, he could call them up, hey, you want to come to Tottenham, play for us? There's nobody there. So I think Kane would want to leave. Obviously, he's a big player, so he deserves to win trophies. But that's my take on that.
The 6 subs. The 6 subs.
Yeah, that's not good.
A mistake. Yeah, it's a mistake.
It's not
good. We can get him as manager and go out and sign Bellerin at right back, who does false throws all the time, right? I mean, that would be a match made in heaven. 6 subs, false throws.
Most people in the comments are thinking this means Harry Kane is gonzo, but this is a valid point by Chris. Levy won't let him go, not unless Levy gets the full amount he wants.
But Kane cannot play. He cannot play. He's Harry Kane. He can come out there and protest and do whatever he wants to do. Do half house and still go somewhere else in the summer. So I'm saying,
do you think he would do that?
I think it depends on the manager, right? If it was a manager that he felt like he could go out and perform and actually win, he wouldn't. But if he feels it's a lost cause, why would you? And no normal person, when they get up to go to work, if they feel like their job is a lost cause, do they get up and go out and give their best? Or do they just kind of go through the motions to get by?
Yeah, go through the motions, demotivate. I think we saw a bit of that towards the end of the season, don't you think, guys? Yeah.
Those last 6 games, it looked like Son and Kane both were just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Brian Ireland here. Kane won't protest. I think
he's not going to sit down on the center spot, but I don't think you'll see him put up the numbers that he did the first half of this season.
It's the mindset. It's the whole mindset, isn't it? Well, we're going well in the league, and we're smashing it, and then
Kane deserves to protest.
Yeah,
I'd protest if I was Kane.
Of course.
Look, I'm never going to sit here and say that selling Harry Kane is going to be a good thing for Tottenham. I want Kane to stay, that's for sure. But it's kind of hard to picture him being sold this summer because really we're down to basically one suitor in Manchester City, right? PSG has already made some moves. Chelsea have been linked to Haaland and Hakimi. and I think that Levy would probably want Chelsea to pay more than
Jack
what he would
Grealish is going
charge.
somewhere.
Jack Grealish is going somewhere, right? So really, like, if you're down to one buyer in Manchester City, if they bought Kane for 150 million, that would be more than twice what they've ever paid for a single player. Are they really going to do that? I don't think so.
Well, then the word right now is that they're going for a major rebuild, and that they're going to buy both Grealish and Kane.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a midfield of Grealish, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Kane up front, Foden? Holy cow, man!
That's how a team looks like when your chairman actually cares for the club and has desire.
It shows ambition and direction from the board, you kid. They don't have to go down to the manager. You know, the Tuchel hadn't met Abramovich till the cup final. Abramovich, I bet that not one single phone call went down from Roman to Tuchel to say, mate, can you do us a favour? Can you get us in the top four and win us the Champions League, please? He didn't have to say that. Because you know
they
what?
Say that Fonseca and
Roman's
Tuchel
actions,
are very similar.
Yeah. But Roman's all Abramovich had to do was lead by example to an extent. The signings show what direction the club wants to be. By saying nothing, you say a lot just by doing certain things in the transfer market. And Daniel Levy's shown us, by fobbing off Conte, he's shown me what direction he wants to go down. We kind of knew that anyway, but for me, it was just a statement of approval. If he wanted Conte, if Tottenham were his best interest, he would have got Conte in, regardless. Fucking regardless, because don't tell me Spurs are skint, because that's a load of bullshit, in my opinion.
Yeah, at the end of the day, even if you believe that Fonseca's a good manager, you also have to look at the time we've waited. 53 days without a manager. 53 without a manager. Let's say we get Fonseca after 5 days of waiting without a manager. Then we'd actually be not too... I wouldn't be happy about it, but I wouldn't be as mad as I am right now. 53 days with a manager, and then we bring in a man like Fonseca.
But
not only that, if it's going to happen, why not just do it right now? Why not just do it?
Yeah,
exactly.
Get it done and start doing business. Why wait till Wednesday?
If that was their profile, Will, that they're going to bring in someone like Fonseca, why waste your time on Poch and Conte when you knew it was going to be like chalk and cheese dealing with them, contract-wise, ambitious-wise, direction-wise? It's going to be like chalk and cheese, because there's no way Fonseca's come in and demanded the same thing that Conte has or had, and certainly Poch would have. No way. It would have been like chalk and cheese, completely different. And I'll bet you anything Levy's has a bit more say over Fonseca than what he would have had under over Conte. So it's completely different. So that's, if that was their profile was always bringing that sort of manager. Why waste their time and our time? We know the answer. We know why they did it.
Yeah.
But why did they? Why? Oh, mate, it's just makes it more evident the kind of shit show that they're running at the moment.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you too, Bob, when it comes to the thought that we're skint as an organization. You know, Tottenham Hotspur are only a slice of the pie when it comes to ENIC and Tavistock and the massive company that owns Tottenham Hotspur. And we've all been sold this myth, you know. Are you guys subscribed to a YouTube channel called The Boy Hotspur?
Yep.
Right. So I mean, Will, you should check out this guy's channel. It's just him and a camera and his opinions. You know, he's got strong opinions.
Apparently, he's coming on the show on our channel on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. It is. If you have time today to go and watch a couple of his videos, one in particular from earlier in the week, he talks about something called the penury myth, right? So it's this myth that Tottenham supporters have been sold by ENIC that, you know, we don't have a pot to piss in, basically, and there's many different layers where it's like, Chelsea are just rich Russians and Manchester City are sheiks with oil money, and we're too good to be that. But really, like, when it comes down to it, as a football club and as supporters of a football club, barring any illegal activity and any human rights violation, does it fucking matter where the money comes from? Right? Not at all. And it's
not like our owners are any better.
No, exactly. And it's like
getting rich off the backs of the working class and their disadvantage. And
whole different show that will whole different show, mate.
I mean, I just want people to think that Joe Louis and
I agree.
Go Wikipedia Joe Louis and see how he made his money.
Yeah.
Or look for some articles and news articles on how he made his money. Borrowed somebody else's money, invested it into short selling currency during a recession in Britain, and got rich. So he didn't even use his own money.
Advantage. No. It gives the word hard work a whole new meaning.
Yeah. But anyways, it's just interesting. It's an interesting video that he did, and the concept itself is obvious when you see people who are critical because just the way that other teams go about their business as if it's like unfair or something. I mean, would you feel bad as a supporter if we won the Premier League and we were challenging financial fair play, bending the rules a bit? Probably not, but yeah, go ahead and get Brian in here.
Crap, what the heck did I just do?
I'm just gonna bring him in.
What's going on, guys? And Will, what's going on with your brother? Your tech not working? What's happening?
No, I kept clicking the button, it just wouldn't go.
There it was.
Just popped up on the screen. How you guys doing?
He's not the only one on pills and beer.
I got some cider on the go here.
Mm.
You guys are day drinking, man. Like I know, Bobby, you're it's nighttime for you, but
What time for Bob?
It's only 3 in the afternoon.
I've been working. I worked a 10-hour shift.
Are you
today,
judging me?
I'll
Are you judging me here, Cody? What's going on?
No, I'm not judging you. I'm jealous. I'm going to get one.
There you go.
No
I got
one's
an
judging
orange
you, you
juice
pisshead.
next to me.
Oh shit! How you guys doing? What's happening? When we're talking,
long time no see, mate.
it's been a bit, hasn't it? I got super busy. I've been actually like working properly, so just less time to hop on the YouTubes because I got to get up early and stuff. So, but today I'm off, so here I am.
Fonseca fanboy or
No, not a fanboy by any means. I'm very skeptical. I think it's sort of what we've all probably expected to some extent when it comes to what type of appointment we'd see. Despite all the Conte rumors and stuff, I don't know how much was in those truthfully. So it's basically where we're at. It's the Italian version of Graham Potter.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're happy?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I expected. I thought this is the manager we'd go for based on the history of the club and the decisions that Levy typically makes when it comes to managers. He's basically Pochettino 2.0 and to some extent as well. It's a mid-tier manager for a rebuild, taking a shot at something and see what happens, and we'll see. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's very good either. So I think we're going to probably finish in the same place we finished last season with him as our manager. So there's no progress for me.
It is a wait and see kind of thing, isn't it, mate?
It is. I mean, we have to wait and see. Really, like if
of course.
And of course I'm going to back him. As much as he's not the manager I would have wanted. He's Spurs manager. If it comes through, then I'm going to back him. So we'll see.
I wonder how long this guy's leash is going to be. Like if we start off the season rough, 3 wins in the first 8 games or something like that, or is this going to be a situation where he's going to be an easy target to turn on?
I think he'll get sacked if he does. If we're not in the top 10 by Christmas, he'll get sacked. If we're below top 10,
But don't you think the fans are a bit wise now? They know who to direct the frustrations to.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get sacked because of the
fans.
Levy? I think Levy will sack him because of the results situation more than anything. But
I'll keep on saying we'll see if it starts off shit. We'll don't be surprised if we see West Ham-esque scenes when they were fighting amongst themselves, directing it at
it's not going to be pretty, is it?
Don't be surprised if we see that. I don't want to see that. Keep them, I'll let me make that clear.
Yeah,
because it means the manager ain't doing well. But don't be surprised if it's a shit show on the pitch as well as off the pitch. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a bit of a very large number of discontent fans directing their anger.
Could get quite ugly in the stadium for sure. Yes, that's going to be unfortunate.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Brian Ireland, what do you think about what you know so far about the way this guy plays wants his teams to play football?
He's very much what we're looking for as far as he's very attack minded, high press. Defense is not his forte. If you look at the statistics, I think they had more goals scored on him last season than any other team in Europe or around there. 65 goals or something like that, 10 more than we did, and our defense was shit. So, but he plays attacking football, so I think in that sense we'll be happy. It's just.
So basically, we're just going to play the Everton FA Cup game over and over next season.
Yeah, so it should be entertaining at the very least. I love that game. That was my favorite game last season, even though we lost. It was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, but I'd rather win.
I know I'd rather win too, but I mean, I still enjoyed it. I still was like, oh, this. We're actually coming out and playing. I mean, I still like to see us play good defense and do.
You
that,
enjoy if it's a one-off game like that,
exactly,
right? You enjoy the day. But if that was week in, week out, losing 5-4 or losing 5-3 or losing 4-2 every single week, that's not going to be fun.
I don't want to lose every week, but if we finish 5th or 6th or 7th, and I go as low as 7th and play that type of football, it'll at least be entertaining. Like the first half of last season was stressful as hell watching Mourinho football, and even when we were doing well, it was still very difficult to watch. And it is meant to be entertaining, so I prefer to be entertained than be tortured.
Do you think that there's an angle here in terms of the style of play that he brings to the table in terms of like we've talked about like the spectrum of fans of Tottenham Hotspur, how just in it, you can see it in their opinions of Fonseca's hiring. There's one side and you get all the way to the other, there's Fonseca out and this is the best hiring we could have made. Do you think that the fact that this guy plays a style of football that could possibly fit into something that would fit the Tottenham way, are they trying to appease the fan base en masse with this appointment?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any thought. I don't think there's any thought of the fan base when it comes.
But
to
Brian, you just said that the Everton game was your favorite game. It's a game that we lost last season.
It doesn't mean I think it's to appease. They've done it to appease.
I'm just saying, is that
will
what they're
appease
thinking?
The fans? I think it will appease some fans for sure.
Are we going to be sitting here and instead of talking about Daniel Levy and Enoch, are we going to be talking about?
I think our fans are the most easily appeased fan base in the. I can't even say it. It's so easy.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's done with intention to appease the fans. I think it's done because it suits the circumstances that we're in.
No, you don't have to appease them. You just do anything, and all of a sudden the whole fan base is all on it. And that's what we got a super chat here from I Hate Marmite. Big up to you for the £5. He says, guys, I want to start hearing about solutions to get Enoch out. We've been talking. To be fair, I Hate Marmite. I know you're on a lot of these different channels, and I really appreciate the super chat. But we've been talking about solutions and options. I mean, go watch Bob's show a couple days ago where we talked about all kinds of options. I mean,
it's every episode of everybody's shows.
Go out and protest, stop buying merch, stop supporting the sponsor, stop doing all these things.
Talk.
The problem is, I Hate Marmite, nobody's willing to join it. And I think that this appointment or this speculative appointment, to me, is very obvious of kind of why. Is because no matter what happens, without any rationale or reasonable, reason to assume that he's going to be a great manager, because he hasn't shown it. There's no evidence, right? You might have statistical outliers. It's like that whole Graham Potter XG thing. It drives me insane because what it has to do is it's based on results, and he hasn't gotten any.
Yeah, it's one data point. You can't just take one and make that something to fall back on. He did really well in where was he before? He was in the Ukrainian league. It's a Ukrainian league. I mean, he
Shakhtar.
Shakhtar, right? So he's done all right at some previous clubs, but just all right.
3 doubles in a row, wasn't it? Right?
Yeah, 3 doubles in a row. He won 5 domestic cups, and they'd only won 2 in the previous 30 years prior to that. So.
Not bad for a team who hadn't finished out the top 2 since, what was it, 1996 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And thanks, I Hate Marmite, for helping to remind us.
Yeah, big up, mate.
The $5 to remind people, just not even us, but the people out there as well, that we still have things to do. But thanks for the super chat again.
I think
By the way,
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you can go. You can go.
I was just gonna say, I think the I don't even know what I was gonna say. I forgot. Sorry. Go on.
I'm going to say something. I'm going to go and have some tea because I'm starving and I've had too many beers. And how long are you staying on, Will?
Another
check it out.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Show.
I'll see where you go. But I'm sure the stream's going on all night throughout the family. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to that little baldy ginger nut, make sure you do.
Yeah, I think Matt's going live in like 30 minutes, so I'm sure my
Yeah.
viewers will go in about 30 minutes. Hopefully not.
We'll just invade Matt. You know, we'll just
Yeah.
invade
Yeah, that's it.
Invasion.
That's it.
And
Will
then in 20
Stewart
minutes,
raid.
there'll be a Matty Hayes raid.
That's it. See you later, guys.
Cheers,
See you,
Bobby.
Bobby. Thanks,
See you later,
everybody.
bye.
Enjoy your day.
Get well soon. Hi guys.
But while you guys are
What's
doing
up,
this,
Mr.
make sure
K?
you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button on the stream. We got about 250 people watching right now. So make sure you do that. Like it, subscribe it, and ring the bell.
Do it up.
And
We went over 1,100
Mr.
subs.
K,
during
are
this
you
show.
just sitting back there, or are you here to
No,
chat?
no. I didn't know what you guys would. I just popped in right now, and I didn't know what the last words were before you started the chat. So, so are we still on the Fonseca?
The
Yeah,
Fonz.
we're on Fonseca.
It's all about Fonzie.
Fonseca.
Fonzie.
You know, look, we're all sitting here, and we're wise enough to know that it's not his fault in any way, whatever circumstances he walks into our club. We already know what our club, in terms of our squad, is like. We don't need to know about Fonseca. We already know about our squad. We know what our chairman is like. He's now got himself a shield, Paratisi, or Paratisi, you know, whichever how you pronounce it, and a manager. So if anything goes bad or anything goes wrong, the so-called accountability can be pointed towards the doorstep of the general manager and the head coach. I think after 20 years, finally Levy's learned that there needs to be a level of accountability. But Levy being Levy, he's going to stick someone else in front of that, which I think is a typical thing right now. I think that's what we're more annoyed at than anything else. Is why is he taking so long? Why is he dragging things out? Why the circus? And wait a second. Has anyone actually, has Spurs officially announced that Paratisi is the football director?
Yes.
Is that been? I don't think it's been officially announced by the club though. I haven't seen a.
No,
No.
that's supposed to happen on Monday, apparently.
It hasn't been officially announced by like they've made a press statement,
Now,
but the contract has been signed and it is
Yeah.
official.
And
He's
then
gonna
I
be-
think
it seems to
Wednesday
me-
the manager will be announced.
It seems to me that if you compare businesses to businesses, this is the first business I've ever seen that's like, £2 billion, £2.5 billion worth of business where we know so much about what's going on or about to happen. Don't you think that's rather remarkable?
It's a strange one. It's a strange
Yeah.
one.
It's a
Considering
very strange one.
Levy's history of trying to keep things under the under the rug a little bit. He doesn't like to tell people about anything, and then all of a sudden now we know everything about everything. It's a strange one.
We don't know
Yeah,
anything.
I'm
It's
just a little
Or at
bit
least
curious.
it seems like we do. Yeah.
I think the Yid kid is right. I think with so much information coming out, we don't know anything.
Yeah, I mean, it could
It's
all
just
be
for-
utter nonsense, right?
It's just for the season.
And
Yeah.
it could be. I think there's plans upon plans upon plans where some opportunities or some situations can come up, and Levy is quite a master of dumping, say for example, terrible news on top of big news. The classic example was Jose, straight after the ESL, one to distract the other or one to cover the other. But he's very good at these type of things, and I don't think it's a deliberate ploy. Okay, we'll only do it when the season ticket holder stuff is happening. I think it coincides, and it's just a bonus points for him.
Yeah, I think he got a little lucky in a sense.
Yeah,
And then
I think
of it possibly.
I think 51 days.
It seems like it's a pretty done deal. Like even the press in Korea are on the Fonseca thing.
I think that's true. I was talking about the Conte stuff that happened just before the season's ticket renewal deadline.
Yeah,
Steve, man, he's
that
not
was-
convinced, man. He's fighting it to the end.
All
It's like,
BS.
it's not.
it's not.
All
There you go.
BS.
Good man. Good man. It is every bit of it. That's the problem with what the Yid kid was saying, was that none of it's true. All of it, some of it's true. There's got to be some truth in there somewhere. The problem is, right now we don't know which one it is. Someone might say it's this. Someone might
What
say it's
benefit?
that.
This isn't a PR stunt, though. Fonseca is not a PR stunt, right? Conte, Poch, that can be your
Wait.
gaining interest, right? Those are things rumors you can throw out there to
Hold
draw excitement from the fan base. throwing
you're
this
wrong there.
out there
I think you're wrong.
is not that.
I think you're wrong. I mean, he wore a Zorro outfit. You can't get more entertaining than that. I mean, this
Yeah,
is like
BJ.
he's like BJ. You know, if BJ was a manager, he'd pull a stunt like that. I'm sure of it.
Starting later this summer, for people that don't know too, while we're talking about BJ, for people that don't know, BJ is going to be doing small segments here on this channel. I finally convinced him. I had to pay him a lot.
Well, now you're monetized, Will. You can afford it.
Exactly.
You know?
That's why that was
all super chats go to BJ, just so you know.
Yes. But it's good. He's only going to be. He said he would come on and do a breaking Spurs news segment. So basically, it's BS news, and he'll be doing little news segments for breaking news, only. And so it'll be little 3, 4, 5 minute videos. So make sure you check that out. Basically some of his TikTok. He's gonna be doing that for TikTok as well. So for people watching that out. But I am not responsible for what he says or the views that he holds.
You should put a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen when BJ is speaking, just so everybody knows it's not you.
Cody's 100% against it, but
I can tell he keeps shaking his head. He's like,
the fan base, the people want it. The people want it. And I got to give the people what they want. So.
Fantastic. I love Cody. Why are you against the BJ?
That's personal, Brian. Okay.
Sorry, I realized what I said after I said it. I'm like, I shouldn't. There's kids watching. Sorry, children.
Yeah, maybe sometime in private, I will tell you the truth behind BJ, and let me tell you, it will shock you.
Anyway, back to more important stuff.
Yeah, the red buttons. I can't find that button that lets me
Don't
leave
push
the
any
studio.
red buttons unless it's a subscribe button, Mr. K.
Just turn your phone off.
Just
that's how you're leaving streams from now on.
Just kill the browser, man. Don't push any buttons. All right.
No, guys, it's been. Look, I think this week has been like. I tell you the truth, I'm happy this week because we've had like 3-4 days of like constantly hot weather in London, which is not normally the case. And at the same time, you've hit 1,000 subs. Tottenham Away's hit 1,000 subs. I think it will be
Bob's
very,
almost
very.
there.
I'm saying that he's very short space of time. He'll make it. Is there anyone else that we need to help push to get to that 1,000?
Yep, right here. No, he's already there, but I just thought it was a good opportunity to bring him in. Shy, what's going on, man?
Yeah, guys, how's it going? How you feeling?
Underwhelmed.
I think the instant reaction said it all, bro.
Yeah, basically. I think we all feel the same way.
Guys, how we doing?
Great.
Shai, tell us your thoughts. Let's hear the
Coach's corner.
I want to hear, because like you've said it so many times on various streams. You're such a passionate Tottenham supporter. There's been times where it's gotten so frustrating, it's like affected you personally, that you've kind of like shut down. So tell me what someone who is dead on the inside thinks about Fonseca.
I'm not surprised. It's just the way it is. That's Tottenham these days. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. To be honest,
Don't be so excited, Shai. Just relax, settle down. It'll be okay.
Will, I'm trying to hold it in, mate. I'm trying to hold
Man,
it
stop
in.
yelling. Just stop yelling.
My ears are hurting, mate. Come on.
Oh wow. So
I thought Brian Daigle was the king of rants on your guys' channel, but Shai, though, I couldn't believe what just came out of your mouth.
Honestly, I tell you, don't put. I got no patch on Daigle, that's for sure. Listen, underwhelming, I think, is a key word that's been used many a time since yesterday. Let's face it.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of manager we were hoping for, but I've got to be honest about it. You've got to give these guys a chance. You've got to give them a chance. You can't write them off before they've even got the job. If they're going to be employed by Spurs, and they are employed by Spurs, you have to get behind them and hope for the best. That's what you have to do, really, in my opinion. At the end of the day, I think you know, I've already seen, you know, Puritigi out, Fonseca out. They haven't even come in yet.
What the Fonseca?
Yeah, it's a bit absurd, really.
You know,
I like that one.
Seriously,
that
I can't
if
deal
you're
with that.
if you're Paulo Fonseca and you log on to Twitter today and you just search your own name, like
I know. Can you imagine the
Well,
guy?
that's the first mistake.
Oh,
that
Don't
would
ever search your
scare
own name.
the living shit out of me if I was looking at some of the things that were being
What have
said
I
about
done?
me.
What have I done?
Poor
you know,
bastard.
the poor guy. You got to feel for him. There's so much negativity. And listen, I'm not going to say I don't understand it. Of course I do. I get it. We all wanted better. You know, we wanted more proven than what we've got. But I suppose you have to look at, you know, if you take the Conte situation out of it, you take the Poch, the Ten Hag situation out of it, what was left? What was available that Tottenham were willing to go for, you know? I mean,
Ten Hag is available.
Yeah.
is he? Then for me, then
It's available.
He was the choice. He was the choice.
Well,
for me,
if Ten
They
Hag's
triggered
available,
the
then
extension in order to get money. That's why they triggered the extension.
Yeah, he's not available for a chairman who doesn't want to spend any money on a manager.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
He is available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
I mean, if that's the case,
it just shows
he-
our ambition or lack
you know,
of.
he was my shout after Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann was always my first choice, and then Ten Hag was my second. You know, and,
Nagelsmann isn't available, but
yeah.
Ten Hag is, and that's why I think it's like I think I kind of see Ten Hag and is I don't want to say at the same level as Fonseca because I don't think that's fair to Ten Hag, but it may be fair to Fonseca. Oh, I thought you were leaving, Cody. You tend to do that when you
no,
jump
I'm
up.
saying
Oh,
hi to
Saying hello to the comments.
But Ten Hag isn't really super proven outside of inside the big five in Europe either, right? But because it's Ajax, that's a little bit more exciting.
Absolutely. I mean, I think for me, I said this all along, and Brian Ireland will back me on this. I think we needed to have a mix of academy players coming through, the rebuild, keep some of the existing, and add with new transfers. So a mix of 3 different pools of players with a manager that could get something out of younger players. And a Ten Hag, from what we've seen at Ajax, would have been an ideal candidate, in my opinion. Stell's always said, will he get the same kind of tools that he had at Ajax? Maybe not. But, with all the other managers that were out there that could have been taken for Spurs, for me, he would have been my second choice, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Sorry, we just had to say bye to Mr. K. He had sent me a message in the private chat saying that he needed us to kick him out. Mr. K, thank you as always for coming in.
Cheers,
and
Mr. K.
bringing your perspective.
Hey.
Yeah, you know what? I somehow wonder, like, okay, so having looked a little bit at the resume and history of Fabio Paratici, if I'm saying that right.
Paratici.
Iggy.
Paramitici. Paramitici.
Paramitici.
Paramitici.
Lasagna.
Powder my tushy.
If what I've learned about looking into this guy,
My cousin calls him.
he's not an idiot, right? It's not like he would have been taken aback by the fact that there would have been some blowback over the selection of Paulo Fonseca. So what does that mean? Does that mean that he has a certain conviction about Fonseca's ability to manage Tottenham?
He tried to bring him in at Juventus a few years back. Apparently, that was one of his first choices. So he does have an affinity for him.
Here's a question, Will. Do you feel Fonseca fits the profile that Daniel Levy was originally talking about?
No.
No.
Daniel Levy's profile was top 4 and getting season ticket money from the fans.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
No, I'm talking.
No, but the letter that he wrote.
Minded.
Oh,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah.
That kind of thing I'm talking about.
I honestly do not think that he's as attacking minded as people say that he is. I literally slept less than 4 hours. So from the end of Cody's stream yesterday till what time was it this morning that I was messaging you guys? 7:00 this morning. I was doing nothing but Fonseca research. And yes, there are people that say that they did play a very fun attacking side, like almost like an Atalanta type system. And then there's other people that said that he's, into playing a 3-4-3, and that he tends to play long balls over the top against tougher competition, sits back, plays a little block, and he's coming from more of the Portuguese side, class of managers that Jose Mourinho falls into. So
yeah, if you look at the statistics compared to Roma versus Tottenham last year,
have you seen that? It's amazing.
Yeah, posted. It's pretty crazy.
Crazy.
So both teams finished 7th. Both teams won 18 games. Both teams drew 8, lost 12. Goals for 68, which is quite a bit of goals for. It's a good number. The goals against was 58 goals against compared to Spurs 45. That's like shambles defense. 62 points. They both
supposed to be
finished
very good, Bri. Is that right? I hear the XG. The XG
I haven't actually looked at the XG.
Roma. I believe it's high. They're one of the highest.
They do create a lot, and I think it fits somewhat into the profile. But
what I'm saying is, if he's attacking with those stats, then Jose Mourinho is attacking as well.
Jose Mourinho is attacking.
Yeah.
It's just against bigger sides. He plays a low block, and everybody gets bored.
Right, but so does Fonseca.
Yeah, well, apparently he plays according to the he's pragmatic according to the competition. So he could be very much like Jose to some extent, rather than like Poch. So we will see.
Yeah. What was your guys' thoughts on Conte? What he said about the Tottenham job?
Yeah,
I think he's right.
That's why I say you kids.
I think he's spot on. Got Daniel Levy pegged.
Yeah, spot on. I mean, he couldn't have said it any better, really.
What was the quote again?
I have it here.
Go ahead and read it if you got it.
Money is not my obsession. I look at projects, and I am ready to stay home if they don't convince me. I like difficult challenges, but if there is something with a club that does not convince me, I prefer to say no, thank you.
Well, I think we all know what that something was, so don't we?
Yeah,
I think
investment.
No, I think that something was a bald-headed twat, as a certain Tottenham away host would say.
Yeah.
Listen, the guy's a winner. He wants to win wherever he goes, and if he can't have that opportunity, Spurs, he ain't going to come. And I think that's all very clear to us now, isn't it?
It really just points it out. It really just points it out like better.
You want us to be positive going into next season and supporting Fonseca. I mean, come on.
Nobody's
we want to
saying
win. He would have come,
positive.
but since we don't,
anybody. I have not said to one single person that you need to be positive. Okay, so don't fucking put words in my mouth. All right, but literally, what I'm saying is we're just coming off like one of the most decorated managers in the history of the sport, one of the most successful managers of the last 20 years, who's won a trophy at every single club that he's been at, and we fucking sacked him 6 days before the opportunity to win a trophy was presented. And now like another like serial winner won't even come near us because we don't have the ambition to match his own. It's just such a freaking disappointing club to be shackled to right now. Is there any getting out of this thing? Like, I don't. Oh
no, you're Spurs for life, buddy. Deal with it.
Oh.
Suffer like the rest of us, Cody.
You know what? I'm starting to see why Shy is the way that he is. Like why it's like okay.
Shy is
like,
Zen, man. If we can all be like Shy, we'll be happier people.
I'm gonna compare.
It's taken years of training, believe me. Years of training. Right?
Or you just look exhausted by it. So
exactly. I'm gonna compare Spurs to a misfit family member that you can't get along with. Like the thing is, if you try
like my cousin BJ.
Exactly. If you try,
he brings you great joy. Most of the time, you're like, what the hell?
If you try and have like a close relationship with a misfit cousin or a misfit brother or sister, it always ends up burning you in the end. It just causes you so much trouble. So like eventually what ends up happening is you just end up holding them out there at arm's length. You don't let them get too close, like you keep in touch once in a while, just enough to say that you still care about the person. You'd love them deeply down still, but it's not worth the load of bollocks that they bring into your life. So like I'm starting to think that's where I need to put Spurs.
That's where Shy's got him right now. He's just chilling with
you know what? You know what the funny thing? You know what the funny thing is?
Yeah.
You know what the funniest thing is? I've heard rumors that the contract that we're offering Fonseca is around the 10 million mark, which is weird because
10 million over 3 years.
Yeah,
or a year.
Or a year. And then
Possible.
That seems really high for
Impossible.
well,
him.
yeah, it's the Premier League and it's Tottenham, right? Roma's paying Jose 5, and we're paying Jose 10 while he's at Roma. So we're basically paying. We're paying for.
We don't pay Jose while he's at Roma.
Yes, we do.
Well, we
Yes,
paid.
I thought that
No,
once he got
it ends when the season starts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it ends when the season starts.
No, we have to pay him. It's in his contract that if he signed another contract, if that other club wasn't paying as much as we were, we had to pay the difference.
Oh, I didn't
Roma
know
signed
that.
him for $5 million a season, so we were paying him 15, so we have to now pay him 10.
I don't know about that.
Send me
but
the
that-
link to that.
Yeah, I'd like to see
Yeah.
that because that doesn't
And
sound right to me.
that's old information.
I can imagine how
First I've
Daniel.
heard of it.
Yeah, I can imagine how Daniel Levy treated Jose Mourinho. That he went to the Roma board and told him to not pay as much as Tottenham paid me. So that means that Tottenham can continue paying my wages.
Cheeky.
Guys, here's a question for you.
Hold that thought though.
Tommy,
Tommy.
boy.
Yes. What's the crack?
What's up, bro?
What's the crack?
Oh,
It's been
there's
a
lot
while,
of
Tommy.
crack.
How
Mate,
you
that
doing,
dubstep, that dubstep entrance is magnificent.
I know, it's quality, isn't it?
Yeah, music changed every
question,
time.
boys.
It's just rolling in the back.
Questions.
Yes.
What percentage would you give for Fonseca being successful at Tottenham out of 100%?
Define success.
Okay, so success being top 4 trophy.
5%.
5.
0.1.
I was being a bit more generous and say 15.
Wow.
I was around maybe 20.
God,
I think Conte would struggle. I think Conte would struggle to get, say, FA Cup and top 4. So Fonseca, I've got to beat her. Yeah, less than 10%. Less than 10% for sure.
Will?
I'm sorry. What was the question one more time?
So, what percentage would you give Fonseca for being successful at Tottenham out of 100% in terms of trophies and top 4?
Trophies in top 4?
Not together.
Trophies?
Just either.
One of or the
anything.
other. Something, goddamn it, please.
even the Audi Cup. We'll throw the Audi Cup in there as well.
40%.
40%. That's quite high.
Wow.
See, I had 30% in my head. I got to be honest. I had 30%, but then after hearing you boys, I was going to lower it.
Lower it.
40%.
I just don't get it.
The thing is,
I do not get it.
I know, like, it seems like a pessimistic answer for me to say 5%, but that's basically like the amount of emotional investment that I'm willing to put into this manager. Like you say, it's the hope that kills you. So basically, I'm willing to die 5%. You know, one in 20 of me. Some people are going.
I just want to know this. We're taking it like it's gospel. We're taking it like Fonseca is most
that's
certainly
true.
coming.
It's not definite yet, to be fair.
These
That's
rumours. I
very
mean,
true.
Antonio Conte. I thought he was there. I thought that was nailed on. I was ready to get a tattoo, man. Even on my forehead. I was that. I was Fonseca in that much. I was
Glad you
willing to
did
get a
it,
tattoo. I think he would have changed things for us. I think he would have done exactly that. I think he would have got us back into the top 4. We need to be back into the top 4 because once you're back in the top 4, you can challenge for the title, and that's always got to be the end game. While I'm alive, I want to see Spurs win a Premier League title. 38 games is a marathon. That's what it's all about. And as you rightly said there, FA Cup, give us an FA Cup. You know, Arsenal won 3 in the last 6 years. FA Cup top 4 next 2 years. I think Conte could have given us that. Fonseca finished 5th and 7th last 2 seasons with Roma. Shakhtar Donetsk. They haven't finished less than runners-up in Ukraine for 25 years. So you're telling me he done a great job there. And then Porto, they won the double. His job before that, Porto won the double. The following season, they finished 3rd under Fonseca. That's his CV. I don't get the appointment. I do not get this appointment at all. I just don't get it. It's a lack of ambition as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Tommy, that's the reality. We don't have ambition and we don't have money. So that's what's going to happen, sadly.
So this is old news.
It's
This is back
just
from May. I'm surprised you guys hadn't heard about it. But anyways, just to show you guys, Jose Mourinho was appointed Roma boss yesterday, but will still cost Spurs £10 million. And it basically goes through. You can find it. It's in the whole thing. Because he signed a 3-year deal with the Italians worth £5 million a year compared to the annual £15 million that he was getting at Spurs. Tottenham will have to pay him 10 the difference for the remainder of his contract.
To be fair, Will, this is the Sun we're looking
For
at.
one-
but
for
if
one
I mean,
it's
you can go to the
somewhere else, fair
Sun.
enough.
You can go to soccer24.co.cr.
They all say that, yeah.
Football 365, HotspurHQ.com. It doesn't matter where you go.
So, Will, it's
Okay,
just for the
fair
one
enough.
season, though, which I think we all kind of knew, didn't
yeah,
we?
till the end of the contract.
Yeah. Well, for the one season, not till the end of the contract.
No, it's
Oh,
till the
right.
end of his contract, which would be the one season. He was only on a 3-year contract.
I thought he had a 3 and a bit contract, so that
3
would
and a half.
be
Yeah.
See,
For the rest
I
of
see
the
what
half.
you're saying. I see what you're saying. I got you.
1.5.
See, this is
That'd
why-
be 2.5 by the end of the season. That'd be 2.5, wouldn't it?
No, it's 1.5 hours gone. So it'd be 2 seasons that we'd have to do it.
So, Tommy, give us some positive about
Yeah, that's what I
Fonseca,
thought.
mate. Come on, give us some positive, mate.
Oh, I can't. I think I'm a glass half full. I really can't. I cannot get my head around it. That's why I've been on Twitter. I'm not usually this bad on Twitter, but I'm so frustrated. There's nothing. I'm trying to think of, clouds and silver lining and stuff, but I just can't think of anything. I can't think of anything. He's failed miserably. He's been replaced by the manager we just sacked. I mean, people were saying, "Oh, he wasn't sacked. They just didn't renew his contract." What's the difference? They didn't. If he was a quality manager, they would have renewed his contract.
That's
Wouldn't they?
Tommy.
So, do you know what I mean?
Well,
They're a club
Yes,
that doesn't
I'm
have
not-
a ton of money, so they didn't want to spend the money on buying out his contract. That was what my understanding of it.
Look, Roma was bought in the summer of 2020. Okay, he was hired by the previous owners. The next owners have come in. They said right off the bat that they want to bring Roma back into the realm of one of the best clubs in the world. So whether or not the decision was made, regardless of what he was going to achieve at the club, we don't know. But I do think it is a little bit different than getting sacked. It is.
Oh, it's quite different for sure. Yeah.
I do have a positive though. We won't have to listen to Ryan Mason press conferences anymore.
Yes.
Not unless Fonseca gets sacked.
Yeah. Yeah, you
No,
know
I
who's
don't
coming
think
in.
they
You
were
know
that
who's coming
bad.
in at Christmas, Yid Kid.
Oh,
when
come on,
Fonseca
Tom,
gets the
please.
sack at Christmas. Ryan Mason for the rest of the season.
For a 29-year-old, I think his press conferences weren't too bad. He had a couple of dodgy ones. I think Scott Parker's as well. Have you seen Scott Parker in press conferences? He is shocking. He's really, really awkward and really bad.
I don't think Ryan Mason was the one that was bad in the press conference. I just think the questions were just really, really off topic. How good is Harry Kane? How good is Harry Kane? Well, he just got us.
You're gonna trigger
That's
Will.
very true.
You're gonna trigger Will. Like, we shouldn't have said the M word.
Who started this mess? Yid Kid, come on. Don't mention Mason ever again on this
No,
show.
That's not very much of a positive.
Look at Will right now. He's dying over there.
Oh, I'm just reading.
Why is my camera gone blurry? I think I'm like pesperating so much.
The pessimism is messing with your focus.
Oh, dear. So who thinks
frustrated.
Fonseca will be wearing his Zorro get-up for this first press conference at Spurs?
Oh my goodness.
That'll sum it up nicely, wouldn't it? Wow.
Oh, positive.
Situation.
He's a good dresser. That's a positive. He's a good dresser.
Okay.
He looks after himself. That is literally the only
Did
positive
you
I can
guys
come
read
up
the
with. That is literally the
Alistair
only positive
Gold?
I can come up
Did you guys read the Alistair Gold rundown of Fonseca?
Not yet, I haven't actually.
It's a good read because he kind of explains a lot of his philosophy and what players think about him, what other managers think about him. He's got a pretty good reputation with most of the people who've worked for him. So that's a positive, Tommy. I hope that helps, Tommy.
Well
I'm trying to make Tommy feel better today.
He's a very good centre back. He was a very good player. He was a very
good player. Yeah, he was.
Top
yeah.
I think
centre-back.
people were getting him confused with the other Fonseca.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that the deal with? Can you imagine the deal with Fonseca breaks down and we end up with an even worse manager?
Okay, stop it. Stop it.
You know that there's a chance.
I mean, who would be worse?
Scotty Parker incoming.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't seriously
Eddie
say
Howe.
that he's
Eddie
who would
Howe.
be worse. There's lots of worse managers than this
Who?
guy.
Jurgen Klinsmann is one of them.
Jurgen Klinsmann's worse for sure.
Martinez.
Said last time.
Martinez would be pretty
Yeah,
bad.
Martinez would be
Martinez
worse.
would be pretty bad.
Sean
Eddie,
Dice.
Eddie Howe.
Gareth.
Guys,
Teams
we're
can't
making
win.
ourselves feel better here. This is good stuff.
Why is Fonseca better than those managers?
Fonseca because he's not fighting for relegation.
I mean,
Yeah, good point.
It's a good point.
Eddie Howe has been linked.
He
ever
dresses
since
he
Celtic,
dresses well. Will this is
Neil Lennon.
Would you
because
rather?
he dresses like Peaky Blinder on the sidelines?
Yeah,
That's why he's
this is an important attribute of a successful manager.
Would you rather have Fonseca or Sam Allardyce?
Oh God, yeah, there's only one choice there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh come on,
I want you
Will.
to answer,
Come on,
Will.
Will. They're being
Please.
absurd now.
Yeah, that's just.
I would rather have
I'll even
Fonseca
go
over
for-
Ryan Mason. Put it that way.
There you go.
There you go. Hey,
I'll take,
you got
I'll
somewhere.
take one of the Allens. I'll take one of the Allens. Kirbishley or Pardew. I'll take one of the Allens over Fonseca. Honestly.
Really?
No way, mate. Come on, that's crazy.
Shout
Alan
out,
Kirbishley.
Roy.
Alan Kirbishley. To be fair, he got a stand
Kirbishley.
named after him this season at Charlton. So he got a stand named after him this season at Charlton.
Yeah,
Tommy,
at Charlton.
do you
Tommy,
remember
at Charlton.
Kirbishley's face when we beat West Ham in the last minute with Gareth Bale's shot? You see him when he kicked, I'm sure he kicked the bucket or something like that.
I think so. My memory's not great, but yeah. His spell at West Ham was
man.
absolutely shocking, wasn't it?
Honestly, his
Absolutely
face when we
shocking.
beat them at theirs. Oh, it was.
But you know, one of the biggest things is we have a director of football now that has no experience in England, and we have a manager that has no experience in England. I said it before, but this could turn into a Jacques Santini, Frank Arneson situation because it reminds me of that. It really does remind me of that. And to me, if we get a Martin Yo out of it, then you know it wouldn't be the worst thing. But yeah, it reminds me of that, and I'm really worried. I'm really worried about this appointment. But as I said, it's not gospel. It could be someone else this time next week. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, we'll see. We shall see. Watch this space.
What do we think? What do we think is going to happen in the transfer window here? I mean, obviously, all we can do is speculate. We have no idea. There's been rumors that Fonseca has been brought in to work with what we've got. I would be highly pissed off if that is the case. But what do you? Let's start with Tommy. What do you think is going to be the mandate here with the new director of football or general manager, whatever you want to call him, Paratici and Fonseca coming on board? Do you think that we're going to move out some players, bring some in?
It's funny you should say this. We've got a stream starting at 9:30. It's a tier list, and there's going to be about 50 players that we've been linked with over the last month, and I'll categorise them what I think should be done with them. So yeah. It's wishful thinking to going to spend crazy amounts of money. We're not. It's you know what we generate through sales. It's what we generate through sales. So at the end of the day, you know, how do you market a player like Dele Alli? He's probably the biggest. He demands the biggest fee from opposition. But I just don't know how we can value someone like Ali. If we can get 30 million for him, and we get, people were saying Roma won't die for 20 million. We've got 60, 70 million pounds. There's something we can do with that. There is something we can do with that.
Do you think they'll use the money
I
from
would
the
love to see a
sale
right
of players though?
I'd love to see.
They have to, boy. I think they've got. No
I don't know that they'll. I
don't
know that they're going to reinvest in the first team. I think that they'll
I
sell
don't
them
think
and
they've
keep.
got any other money to spend, boy. To be fair,
I know, but that's my point.
He
I don't
announced it,
think
didn't
they'll
he?
spend it. I just don't think they'll spend it.
Really?
Even if they get it, they're going to put it towards the debt. So, 175 million has to be paid to a bank by March of next year.
Oh, I'm not
They
sure
already
about that, 'cause
refinanced
now
it.
they're
They
getting
refinanced
shortly
that
after
already.
They already rolled that into their.
Oh,
They
did
rolled it
I missed
into a
that.
longer
Yeah,
term,
they paid that off.
debt.
Yeah,
Oh, so
they
borrowed two-
rolled it into the.
They've extended it then. Okay.
To the mortgage of the stadium.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
I'll be very interested to see this year's financial statement when it comes out.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That's-
Highly interested.
Tommy, you froze in a very unflattering position, mate. Sorry.
Somebody take a picture. Screenshot that.
But
Tell you what, I was actually.
Do you want to see my
happy-
O face? oh.
I was actually happy to hear we were linked with Marcus Thuram yesterday, probably more than Fonseca, to be honest with you. I think that sounded more exciting to me yesterday. We were linked with him.
Yeah, you rate him. He's left winger, right? So where do you think he fits in if he comes here, Shai? Do you think that Son gets moved over to the right hand side?
Well, that I think that would be a good option. I don't know if he can play either side. Does he just play left side, or can he play as a striker and the right hand side? Can he play across the front line?
No, you're fine. But
This
well, hold it. I have to say this because I've had it up there a while and I've been wanting to say it. But so before I interrupt, I just want to say, Kogumo, you and the old school emojis, it's just at another class. Those take so much time and actual thought. That's why they're so cool. than the boring new ones where you just click one button and it's done. But big up to Koguma for that.
Yeah. I think last transfer window was actually really good. If you look at it, we brought in players that we didn't almost buy players. We actually bought players last season. But I think it's going to be this transfer window. I think it's going to be a typical Tottenham transfer window. We might sell Kane. Probably he's going to want to go. And then in the final day, we'll bring in someone like Danny Ings and expect for him to be as good as Harry Kane.
Nah, that's if he stays.
Yeah, the summer I thought was good. I thought the summer was good, but you know that that Lucas Moura was the last person that we bought during the winter transfer window.
Yeah, January is not a good time to buy players generally as it is, but yeah, I don't think the
All
summer's
the
going to be
big
great,
guys tend
guys.
to bring at least one or two people in if they need one.
Yeah.
I guess we're not.
Yeah, the ones who have ambition, who are trying to win something, that will buy somebody in January, but that's clearly not Spurs.
Not Spurs.
Pick up Bruno Fernandes.
Do you remember when we brought in Zaha and Nelson in
That was the
January?
worst, mate. That was the worst. Honestly,
we were like in second place in the league at the time.
We wanted Tevez. Harry Redknapp wanted Tevez. And
wanted
somebody
Tevez,
else,
and we got Luis Zaha.
Ryan Nelson and Zaha. Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's our January. That's the last, big
I think
big
Van der
purchase
Vaart
we
was
made.
probably our best signing in January.
He was brilliant, actually. Yeah, he was
Rafael
fantastic.
Van der Vaart, what a
Yeah.
player.
And cheap on the cheap as well. What did we pay for him? Wasn't even that expensive, like 15 million or something like that.
What a signing!
Yeah.
Top drawer signing.
That's fantastic.
I think we got like a Mal Bronk in there. Mal Bronk should have been sensational. We got Dempsey. We got Mal Bronk in before that.
Was
they
Dempsey
could have
in
been
January?
sensational.
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure Mal Bronk definitely was. I'm pretty sure Mal Bronk was.
Yeah, Mal Bronk
and
was.
he could have been sensational player.
Do we think that the reaction to the hiring of Fonseca has been generally shaped by the fact of the nature of the managerial search leading up to it? Like the fact that I had tweeted it a week ago or a few days ago that, God help anybody that comes into this job that's name isn't Pochettino, Conte, or Ten Hag. Is this the type of reaction that we would have had regardless of the candidate outside of those top level managers that we would have been linked with?
No.
I think
if you had a name of a person who was actually proven to do something, if Zidane would have come in, I think you'd have people that are upset. Look, there are a lot of people that are upset that Conte was going to get appointed. I mean, the Jose outers were almost pooping their pants, right? Like they were like, "Oh my God, no!"
No, the players themselves even apparently were saying they didn't want Conte because they were.
Well,
afraid
that's
of,
why we need Conte.
Afraid of actually working.
They don't want to work.
Yeah, I know.
That's
It's
why.
exactly why.
Cody,
Exactly
please
why.
repeat what you said yesterday because I was clapping what you said about the players yesterday. When you said about the players not wanting the manager, that was.
You know what? I just don't want to. I'm with Brian Daigle on this. I don't want to fucking hear what the players think anymore. But like they would honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a news story that came out that said that they were complaining about the flavor of the cotton candy at the training center right now because these guys. It seems like how long is it going to be until they throw Fonseca under the bus too? You know what I mean? Like Jose got the sack. You have to say that the players had a hand in it. The way that they were acting on the pitch towards the end, in particular, what stands out to me, the end of two
players too. That's what
the 2-2 away to Everton, where Lloris and Aurier were joking around after the game. And even going back to Poch, there were players who seemed to be pleased that he was out the door as well. Toby Alderweireld was one of them. So, man, I just don't care what the players think anymore. Stop telling me what they think. Like, just wake up in the morning, get yourself a nice breakfast, and get the fuck to work at making yourself a better footballer. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see clips of Lucas Moura and Carlos Vinicius playing tech ball. I don't want to see Matt Doherty and Gareth Bale pulling questions out of a hat and asking if they believe in aliens anymore. Stop with the dicking around and get serious about the football side. Like there's a time and a place where all of that's fun stuff, but we just seem to be completely like saturated with it all the time. It's just sickening.
It can be funny in limitation. I mean, we saw the Spurs all or nothing. Dele Alli.
If we were winning, we'd all
love it.
It
could be funny if we were fucking winning something.
If we were winning, we'd all love it. We'd all love it.
Yeah, exactly. I agree completely with that.
Yeah, when we were top of the league and we were seeing the players playing cricket, were we complaining? No, not at all. We were
No,
actually
it's-
watching a video.
It was fun. It was like,
yeah,
oh, like,
yeah, we were laughing at it.
yeah.
You
It's
don't want to
just-
see your players walking off a pitch after a loss, joking around and smiling and laughing.
No, not at all.
Not a good look.
It's
I just
toxic.
don't want to hear any more of the thoughts that exist between the ears of Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer should
Yeah.
become a fucking vegetable gardener is what he should do. That's the only thing he's good at
He's
is
definitely a
standing
vegetable
still
already.
and picking fucking things out of the dirt, you know, like ugh!
Yeah, I share your
Trigger.
pain, Cody. I share your pain. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of the players having a say in what goes on in the management side of the club. I think that is absolutely.
They don't want Conte. They don't want Conte
Really?
because, like Bielsa, he will work their asses into the ground.
Yeah.
And we can see. We talk about Pochettino. The season after we failed in the Champions League final, it was clear they didn't like his double training. They didn't agree. with
Why are
players.
supporters
They
actually
didn't agree with
They
his
got
double
old
training.
and they got old and privileged, and they wanted to just do what
Exactly.
they
The
wanted.
way we reacted to that loss
Correct.
in the Champions League final. Do you know what? We done well. We got to a Champions League final. So that's a massive achievement. Yeah, and we was only one game from winning it. Imagine if we won the Champions League. We were, 90 minutes away from winning that. So the start
need
of
to mess up
Pochettino's
goals either.
season, the start of that season was it was our players didn't want to work, and as soon as they hear Conte, you know, he will drive them into the ground. He will drive them into the ground like a Bielsa. Bielsa got the best out of Championship players. Stuart Dallas, Ayling, these are Championship players. He ripped them apart. He ripped them apart. Got their fitness double to what it ever was before, and you can see what it does for the
It's
players.
what Poch
Even
did when he first came to Spurs. He did that with the
exactly.
Tottenham.
They
Brought
may
through
not have the
younger players
quality.
and-
They may not have the quality, but if they're going to work their asses off,
made them way better than they are.
Agli here with a 10-pound super chat saying, to tell you the truth, he can't do any worse than the previous trophyless managers. We have to get behind him, guys. Come
Yeah,
on,
you
you.
fuckers.
Fonseca's coming.
Come on, you fuckers.
But she also said too, breaking news. It was up there for a while. Breaking news. He's gone to live where it's often he's gone to work on a farm. I wish that were true. But anyway, Agli, you are a legend on every channel that you're on, and
Certainly.
we appreciate you for your super chat and stuff like that. So
I think that didn't Aglea play for the ladies team at some point?
I think
there's
a
there's a history there. I would honestly, like, if you're willing to, I know that like some people are camera shy. You wouldn't have to have your camera on. I would love to do a show sometime with Aglea and just get her to tell some of her backstory and what things might have been like when she was a part of Tottenham. But just some clarity on that. And
you're always welcome on our ranch show, Agli. I know it's late for you, so
yeah, if it works out, like my morning THFC Wednesdays at 11 a.m. GMT. If you're interested in something like that, honestly, don't be shy. Just feel free. Find me on Twitter. If you're not on there, just leave a comment on one of the videos, and we'll figure out a way to get you on here. Eugene
It's always
saying
a chilled
that,
atmosphere. It's always a chilled atmosphere. If I look around the streamers, we're all a little bit diverse. We're a little bit different. I'd say this is the most chilled stream. This is the most chilled stream. I think that's why you get so many guests on. I've seen your American streams. You've got like 10 people on all the time, and I think that's why. It's really chilled. So if you want to come on for the first time, this is perfect.
if you want to feel relaxed, I would say the best two is probably ours, and then the two Brians on Friday. I can't.
Yeah, we're pretty
chill.
chill. We're pretty chill on the Fridays. Yeah.
But the guest segment on the two Brians is a bit short. Ours is the whole 3 hours. So
Yeah, I don't want to have the BJ on for the whole 3 hours. I mean, nobody can manage that. Well, I mean, jeez.
I don't even know if I could manage that, to be honest with you.
Staying in character for that long. Oh, sorry. I just revealed it. Sorry.
yeah.
Because nobody knew at this point what was going on.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if you saw, but when Will tweeted that we had hit 1K, first person in the comments congratulating us was Brian Daigle. He was all just glowing about the channel, being so nice, giving us the utmost compliment and everything like that. And I responded to him and said, "Take that, Tottenham away." But I do have to go. I can see my kids are starting to wake up. Thanks to everybody who was tuning in. Thanks to everybody who sent in the super chats. We appreciate all the comments. we can't bring them all up all the time, but if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you go down, click subscribe, click the notification bell so that you know when we're coming on. And thanks to everybody who came on the show too. Paulo Fonseca, we'll see what you got, buddy. See you later.
Allegra's got a quote for you there, so you can either read it in the comments or I can read it for you now. But she said, yes, she did play for Spurs, and she'd love to come on your show. She's a Spurs fanatic. Sometimes she cracks jokes to lighten the mood, but one thing is that she loves Spurs, win, lose, or draw, and I think we all share that.
Bloody hell. Come on,
Okay.
yeah, come on.
Yeah, no, I would love to have you
Fantastic.
on. If that works for you,
Fantastic.
we will figure something out. I don't know if you have Twitter or not, but we will figure something out. If you could, we'll figure something out.
You can email the channel. If you go to the About section, there's an email address that you can click, and you can send an email to the channel, and we can hook you up that way if you don't want to reveal your Twitter accounts or other social media. So
Perfect. Okay, see you later, everybody.
Cheers, Cody.
Cheers.
Much love, man. Much love.
Yeah, on the topic of the players coming to Daniel Levy to not sign Conte, I actually put out a tweet of Eric Dyer going to Daniel Levy's office and saying, Conte is going to be mean to me and make me run. And then Daniel Levy saying, oh, no, we can't be having that, which is basically probably how it went down. Eric Dyer doesn't like to be run, and he doesn't like to be somebody making mean to him, obviously. And obviously Daniel Levy can't be having that because he loves his players, even though they're absolute crap and can't make a pass. Well, Winks can make a pass, but he can make one sideways.
Indeed. Can you imagine Eric Dyer playing a higher line under Fonseca?
Oh man.
I think
I hope Eric Dyer goes to Roma.
If we get Fonseca, I don't think we're selling Dyer. Because you're going to need six centre backs.
Don't do this.
Because he plays three centre backs.
He often plays
So
three.
you're going to need a backup for each centre back. You're going to play six centre backs, and he can play midfield as well. Well, debatedly he can play midfield. I don't think he can.
Wasn't he a better? He was a better midfielder than he was a defender.
Probably because he can lose concentration and get away with it.
He can get away
He
with
can
it.
lose concentration and get away with it a little bit in defensive midfield, can't he?
Yeah.
Preferred formation is four at the back, but he will play a three at the back if he has to, if he's forced to, because he has injuries or playing against a certain team.
He did have a lot of injuries, to be fair. But I've seen the majority of the games I saw in his first season. I watched a lot of Serie A in his first season. It was free at the back, but as you say, it could have been down to injuries. He might change it up. Regardless, we need two centre backs. Whatever formation we play, we need two centre backs in this summer. And please just give us two. Even if one of them's an old boy. Like a Thiago Silva, 35, 36, give him a free contract, give him a year contract, and then get someone else in. Two centre backs, please. We can't have Dyer and Sanchez next season if we play two at the back.
We all take Anderson, would we? We'd take him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think he's a good. Very good.
That's Anderson and
done,
isn't it?
Anderson and Tanganga and our
waiting for the manager to come in, right?
Recently,
pretty much done. Conte was pretty much done.
Yeah, recently
Conte was pretty much done.
I'm saying this is pretty much done. Supposed to be announced on Wednesday, apparently.
Recently, the rumors on Ben White and Bonucci coming out.
Yeah,
Bonucci, I saw that one as well.
Oh, he'd be fantastic as well.
But the thing with Bonucci is, I don't think he regards us as an actual club, as a big club, because I don't know if you guys remember this in the round of 16 Champions League when Juventus beat us. He said in a press conference, "Is the history of the Tottenham." So I honestly don't even think he.
Bloody hell, that's the memory you got there.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Right. That's some memory you got there, man.
Yeah, I was eating pizza.
He's young, Tommy. His memory's still good.
But look, I mean, okay. So why don't we just get Zlatan to come in and fill in for Kane then too? If we're going to bring in Bonucci, I mean, seriously. What was why did we give Vertonghen a contract? If we're going to go and sign someone who's 34, 35, why did we ever let Vertonghen go?
And it was silly. We made some silly decisions. We let Trippier go at right back, and look at the situation we're in at right back right now. I think that was a terrible sale. We've let some really we made some really silly sales. I mean, Eriksen. I think we've done well with Eriksen to get 10, 50 million pounds, but to have let his contract run down,
we should have sold him 2 seasons prior.
That was the
at least a season, 18 months. At least.
To have let his contract run down,
we could have got 50 million for him.
Exactly.
And we still haven't replaced him. We
Still
still
not
haven't
replaced.
replaced him.
Harry Kane's
Yeah.
replaced him, and he's still playing strikers. He's
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
both
number 10,
positions.
isn't he?
Yeah,
He's a number 10 pretty much.
Harry
basically.
Kane is 9, 10, 5.
Playing like 5 positions. yeah.
He's like Drogba on the near post, isn't he? He headers everything
oh,
clear
yeah,
from
he
corners
headers
as well.
Penalty
So
spot. Penalty
He's
spot.
got more
fantastic.
clearances from at that position on corners, I think, than any center back in the league or something like that. Some ridiculous statistic from last season. Like almost every time it was him clearing. It was like, what the fuck, Harry Kane? Well done, sir.
I agree with Phil Ambrose. The latest chat. Nobody thought letting Trippier go was a bad idea at the time. We got on his back.
Is that a new song they're going to sing at the stadium there?
He wasn't happy at the club. He had some issues. He's talked about it a few times.
And I remember he scored an own goal in one game, and he had a bad performance. And this is the power of social media. The fans got on his back. Really, really awful. Really awful how much they got on his back. So we were forced to sell, and now he's won La Liga with Atletico Madrid. He's got another ex-Spurs player.
One of the 90 ex-Spurs who've won a trophy in the
The
last.
thing was, Trippier was
since
carrying
they've
an injury all season that we
He
didn't
was,
know
yeah.
about. Nobody knew.
Oh, was
None
he?
Of the fans,
He was, yeah.
None of the fans knew this, but he was carrying all season.
He
but
played through it.
Played through it.
Just we didn't have anybody.
Bloody hell, exactly. I mean, I wasn't aware of that. And of course, and then Walker Peters at right back as well. I know it helped us with the Højbjerg deal, but right backs, what are we doing?
And he's been brilliant at Southampton. Southampton aren't the side at all, like a reasonably good side without him in their team. He's so good.
And he's homegrown.
And homegrown.
Yeah.
That's one thing Stella always said. He was very upset when KWP left.
Yeah, I
He
thought that
always
was a
thought he
massive
wasn't
error.
given
And he wasn't given time. I mean, I think that was Poch's issue as well. Poch
Yeah,
didn't
it
play
was.
him.
It was.
You know, it was like, what are you doing? The 2 times he played, he won man of the match. He got 3 assists in one half.
He started the season
in one game, and it was
remember?
like,
He
and then
started
didn't
at
play.
Newcastle. He started at Newcastle.
Yeah, played the first
well,
game of the season and played the last game of the season.
Played very well. And then,
KWP is not terrible, Scott. Scott.
Yeah, but I don't think he's great. I don't think we've seen what he can do yet.
I think he's better than what we
He
got.
was
right
a
now.
good backup option. And if we want to sell the likes of Winks and Ali, then we need homegrown players because we're right on the edge now. We're right on the edge. After the sale of Trippier and some of the other English boys, we need 8 players for the 25.
He's not on a Regulon
He's pretty
level.
much
He might
got
be
8.
like on a Sessegnon level, but he's not on a Regulon level.
Region was pretty bad for us the end of the season. I don't know. I think he's probably just as good as Region.
And as Troy said, he looked fantastic. In the games he played, Walker Peters, I thought he looked fantastic for Spurs.
I tell you what didn't help him was that mistake against Barcelona.
That was
That was a bad error.
In a big game, in a bad error, in a big game.
Exactly. It was, and that didn't help.
That screws you for sure, especially.
I mean, even at Southampton this season, he was good for the first 5-6 weeks.
He was injured for like most of the season. When he came back, all of a sudden Southampton started playing well again.
Yeah.
He makes a massive difference for them. He's an outlet.
He's like Aurier, where he's got a big mistake in him, and he just lets people. Defensively, he's not.
Isn't Aurier our best right back though at the moment?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say he's good. I mean, just because he's our best doesn't mean he's good.
I'm just saying KWP would have been a great backup, and he could have developed him. And
David Kinzer, is that true? Where are you getting these rumors, man?
Had a bit with Eric. Yeah, that was all over the place. That was all over the place.
We're getting into Wayne Bridge, John Terry.
I don't think that's.
I think
true.
I think it got kiboshed. It's not a fact. You can write it in capital letters, but it doesn't mean it's true.
We could have an ongoing. I know we were part of a reality show, but we could have like a daily reality show with Spurs right now, especially over the last season.
Yeah, seriously. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't think Kyle Walker-Peters was bad, but he's not.
He's a great backup, and to
He's like
develop him,
Sessegnon level, I think.
He could have been developed into a starter for sure.
Yeah, he's still young too. I think he's only like what 22.
22.
And is he worse than Aurier and Doherty? Is he worse than Aurier and Doherty?
He's better than Doherty for sure, and he's like probably from an ability perspective pretty close to Aurier. And but it does have an error in him like Aurier does, and I agree with that. But it does.
Video art didn't happen, mate. Video art didn't happen.
I honestly don't think Aurier is our best right back, though. I think it's Tanganga.
Well, I would agree with that. I would agree with that, except that Tanganga is not a traditional right back. He's only started playing there because Jose put him there, but he's a
and then going
center back.
forward too, I don't think Tanganga is not as good as
he won't be able to revert to wing back.
Very defensive.
He won't be able to play wing back. If Fonseca comes in, he plays wing back.
I think he'd be very good on the right side of a 3.
Exactly,
Yeah.
That's
exactly
his
that.
position.
And at centre back, right side of the freeze, probably.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into height when it comes to centre back, but it is important.
It
is
does matter,
important.
but if you got the three at the back and you got a right sider like him, I think against Liverpool that's how we played when he came in and I think he started against them because we had an injury in that position and he played fantastic. It was really good. Huge block at the beginning of the game and fantastic.
I think definitely right side of centre back could be absolutely fantastic.
In a three
he's
would be great.
He's got enough pace. Not enough pace, I don't think, to play on the wing, but he's got enough pace to be right centre back.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
I think that would be great.
I think Tanganga can play when Bale's playing because the thing with Bale is he doesn't drop back at all, and Tanganga's more of that right back that stays back, doesn't attack them.
Yeah, defensive
So
minded.
but when Bergwijn is playing, maybe somebody like Aurier would be better because Bergwijn does defend a bit. Yeah.
I just want us to, as far as the manager, I mean, we can talk about players all day. I just want the manager thing to be done with, so then we can actually start talking about players and actually start looking at picking people in. Because I'll be honest with you, this is probably like this has got to be at least like the 5th or 6th stream that just this channel's done on managers, and I'm tired of doing them, man. To be honest,
I'm
It's just
sick of it.
ongoing,
Let's
isn't it?
move on.
It's just
Yeah.
ongoing. That's why I
Yeah.
thought Conte was it. I thought after all the messing about, I thought Conte. I thought it was done. I can't believe Levy. Okay, they're both heavy negotiators, haven't they? They've both got massive egos. That's, for me, you can't compare Conte and Jose. They're very, very different, slightly defensive, but the one comparison they do have massive egos. So him and Levy coming to a negotiation was always going to be difficult. But I felt like Conte is not going to go around Madrid. They've got Ancelotti. He left Inter. The only other place he can really go is in the Premier League. I thought he was our man. So yeah, as you say, ongoing. Let's get the manager in, and obviously, depending on what manager we get in, the transfers are going to look very, very different, whether it's selling or signing. So that is the key.
Yeah. Massively.
folks, I'd love to keep chatting with you. We have come to the end of our show time, 2.5 hours. So go around the circles. Everybody here has a channel to promote, so we'll let folks do that. So we'll start with the Yid Kid.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go on. Okay.
So go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at the Yid Kid. Instagram, same. And I have a YouTube channel for the Yid Kid. I was also going to tell you, Will, my birthday's coming up in 10 days. So that means the money, I was going to get a bit of cash. And I am going to become a William Ranger in 10 days. So.
Oh, man.
Nice.
How old are you going to be, mate?
13, teenager.
Oh,
It's your birthday cash to get you some new boots or something, man. You don't need to.
I just got new boots. I don't need any.
Nice.
Well, then in that case, I'm just kidding. No, but thank you for that. But you also have the Yid Kid on YouTube. Make sure you guys check him out. Give him a subscribe. You have another channel, the Yid Kid Live. I wouldn't split those up. I'd do those together if you can. That's just my advice.
Yeah, the problem is with I can't make videos. I can't make live streams on my actual channel because my age.
Because of the age, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to do a different channel, and
when you have your birthday, when you turn 13, you can. So.
Yeah, let's try and do that.
You'll probably have your 1,000 subs pretty early if you carry on like this. I think you'll have your 1,000 subs pretty early on, man.
Yeah.
I made a bet with my dad if I could get 1,000 subs before the summer ends.
Okay.
Let's try to make it happen, folks. Everybody go to his channel and subscribe.
Game on.
Yeah, definitely.
Hook him up. You get on TikTok and do that, and then start putting that out. TikTok loves those kinds of challenges. You may very well.
Does anybody use TikTok? Does anybody use TikTok on it for their YouTube or social media?
Only for dancing. That's it.
we just started one for BJ.
Channel, Tommy. He's badass on there.
Okay.
Doing some breakdancing and shy doing it up.
Yeah,
we just started one. We just started a TikTok for BJ. So
of course you did.
Yeah,
of course you did.
Because I think BJ, he's the right kind of content for TikTok. So.
He's going to be bald by 15. Do you know what? This is the most hair I've seen in a Spurs stream. This is the most hair I've seen in a Spurs stream. Cody's just gone, hasn't he? Cody's just gone. So, yeah, there are so many bald guys, and it's no coincidence, is it? It is no coincidence.
Stell was saying that to me the other day. He was like I was making a thumbnail for a new show that we're gonna be rolling out here in a week or so. And he was like, "There's too many bald eggs out there, and it's like, well, we're kind of the bald egg club. I mean, if you really look around, it's like everybody's bald.
No,
ridiculous.
no,
Honestly,
I'm
it is
good.
ridiculous.
Steve Hitchens bald, and Daniel Levy's
Me
bald.
and Shai are doing all right.
Yeah.
Try, they seem the most. They seem, Try. You seem the most chilled and Brian away. Maybe we've got to take a leaf out of your book.
Yeah.
Take a leaf out of your book. Well, it's too late now. It's too late now. But
Don't
you
let
kid,
it
take a leaf
destroy
out.
you.
Try and
Don't let Spurs
try and Brian's
destroy
book.
you, man. That's the advice I can give you. Just arm's length. Arm's length. Just keep them at arm's length, mate.
Yeah.
Don't let it get to you.
Team stays out here.
Can't do that. Like I said, I literally got like 4 hours of sleep because I was studying some guy named Fonseca that I'd never heard of before. So, but Brian Ireland, tell people where they can find you and who you are and all that.
Yeah, Brian Ireland from Tottenham Away. We got a YouTube channel, podcast on Mondays. We've got the two Brians on Fridays. Shai and Stel do a once a month show about coaching, which is pretty dope. Make sure you check that out. We've got a new show coming up with JP and Iggy that's going to be starting in a few days, or was it next week they're going to start it, Shai?
Maybe next week.
I think next week. And then we've got some Euro content we're going to be doing as well. So look for that. I'm going to be putting together some stuff over the next couple of days, and you'll see us talking about it on Friday. We're going to do a stream tomorrow as well before the two Brians, of course, talking about the management situation because we haven't done one of those yet. But yeah, check us out there, and hop on over to Tottenham Way.
For sure.
Oh, and also make sure you subscribe to this fucking channel while you're here.
Yes,
if you haven't
please
yet.
do subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And then Tommy.
Oh, I'm up.
You're up.
First of all, absolutely subscribe to this channel. Hit those like buttons. I think everyone on it makes a huge difference. It helps everyone's channel grow. And getting the comments after, because obviously a lot of people watch the recorded version. Get the comments in after as well. When you're watching the recorded version, don't be scared to get your comments in there. And I've got a stream actually starting in 20 minutes. It's going to be a tier list. It's going to be a tier list of potential signings. I've got about 50. I'm looking at. It's going to be quite complex. So head over there if you're interested in that. And please hit me up with a sub. All these boys, they've got 1K. I'm far away from that. But
I'm far too.
Let's get you guys there. Let's get you guys there.
Every little one helps. So if you can get over to Spurs Zone TV, hit me up with a sub. And as I say, I'm doing a stream shortly. So if you're interested in who we can potentially sign over the next month, then check me out, boys.
Is it
sure.
Is it Will Stewart Raid? Yeah, Will Stewart Raid.
Yeah.
Will Stewart Parade.
Will Stewart Raid.
Will Stewart Raid. On Tommy's
Will
channel.
Stewart Ray. Yeah, actually, that's what I'm doing now. That's why I am grabbing the link for it right now.
Oh, is this for
They're
which?
fun. Do you know what? I can only do them on my own because it gets messy. When you got two people, I done it on another channel. It wasn't Spurs related. You fall out over it. If there's two of you, fall out for which category you're going to put the players in. So I do it on my own. It can get very, very messy. But
There's the link to that video. You guys can click over and hit the reminder button for that. But before you guys skip over, Shai, go ahead and tell us a little about yourself and where people can find you.
Oh, well, I'm with the guy above me up there doing a great show with Mr. Ireland up there, Mr. Daigle, who I'm sure you all know, as well as Stel. And we love doing what we do. It hasn't been for very long, but we've been really privileged to have got to 1,000 subscribers already, and we love doing it for everybody. So come and join us on Tottenham Away on a Monday, and the Brian show on a Friday, and me and Stel on once a month, and the new show that's coming with JP and Iggy. We all love it.
Yeah.
Yep, it's been great. I've been on Tottenham Way a lot. I think you've been on our channel. Have I been on your channel, Tom? I think I've been on your channel one time. I don't remember. Maybe I have.
I've done a couple of lunchtime streams where I had just loads and loads of people on.
Yeah.
So probably at some stage.
But Tommy's got a great channel. I always watch a lot of his stuff. I always get in the comments in there and comment away on that. And then and then the Yid Kid too. I know Brian Daigle and Eugene were on his show the other night and stuff like that. Sorry I couldn't be on there, but like I said, I would be doing more shows here if I had more time. But like I said, I'm busy as myself too. But I will definitely be on one of them for sure. I'll definitely.
And you're going to be live streaming shortly, Yid Kid. As you say, you're going to be live streaming shortly. I'd imagine if you're nearly 13.
Yeah, 10 days, you said. He's got another channel too that he's done one stream on already.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Definitely look out for that.
Yeah. I do a podcast every night. On Monday, I bring on guests, but other than that, every weekday, I do it by myself. So
That's good.
Awesome stuff.
I'll be watching that for sure. But folks that are watching the stream today too, let's get this channel up to 2,000. Remember, at 2,000, we're giving away 2 T-shirts. We gave away one. It was Matt Jones. He picked the "I'm telling you, bro" shirt.
I'm telling you, bro.
Matty Jones will be. I placed the order for that, and as soon as I get it, we will ship that out to you. So thanks everyone for watching. Like and subscribe. Make sure you check out the channels of all the gentlemen up here on the panel.
Very much so.
The next show for this channel will be our Saturday night, late night THFC rant. Saturday. I'm going to try to do it at 9 p.m. I always say that, but then I never get it. I never am able to do it because something happens on a Saturday.
Is that 9 p.m. you? Is that 9 p.m. you?
Yeah, 9 p.m. out. So 2 a.m. your time, Tommy. And that's the late one for you. But for all those folks that are out there watching, that's the next show for this channel. Thank you guys very, very much for the super chats today. For the first time, the breaking of the cherry for the super chats. There's a bunch of them in here today. We appreciate that. Stream was up to like 275 people at one time. So thank you guys all for watching and joining the stream. Thanks for the 160 plus likes that I think we got on the video. And you guys are amazing. 164. So you guys are awesome. Thank you for watching. Stay strong, stay Spurs, folks. This is the Creators Corner. I'm Will Stewart, and we will see you next time.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, let's go now.
Goodbye, folks.